much. For those of you who are just glued to that community billboard, you actually get to hear my voice here in the beginning of the morning. Today is 12th of October, 1994, and yes, the spelling is correct. It's not English, in case you aren't clever enough to figure that out. But if you've been watching Community Billboard, chances are you're not. All right, I'll wait a little bit before I start really getting into my disclaimers and the content of the show and whatnot. Matter of fact, other than that, I really don't have a whole lot to say. I've got allergies out the yang tonight. Melissa's not here. I don't know if she's going to be here, although she usually does call if she's not going to make it. I look like hell. Gee, big change there for you, right, Shell? Right. Hello? What? Who is this? That's nice. You're not on the air, by the way. Sorry about that, little girl. All right, looks like the phone lines are already filled up. Your hideously craven desires to be a part of my life, you sick bastards. Anybody who has memorized this phone number probably needs to call, you know, like, get their diaper changed or something. I can't believe you people who have actually memorized the phone number here. By the way, I'd like to take a moment to say that Channel 10 is hosting the Old Biddy show, and I'm sure the calls like the lovely little lady I just talked to, people like that are just more than welcome to call up and be a part of that show. Speaking of excellent shows, I'd like to recommend everybody. Dave Pruitt runs the, probably, in my opinion, the best access show in town, and it's called Capsize. It's also called Raw Time, depending on what time you switch it on. Saturday nights, Sunday mornings, from midnight until 4-ish, I believe. Give it a check. It's worth your time. I know he won't play that 9 Inch Nails video just because you request it. Oh my lord, not one, but two. By the way, this is Paul, Melissa, and Wendy. Speaking of that, if anybody out there has any interest in seeing what you have allergies to, or, sorry, are you okay?
Gee, what a flattering comment. You look terrible.
No, it looks like, no, it just looks like you have the same allergies I do.
Ragweed?
Could be. Are you having it?
No.
Wow.
It's really hot.
Wendy got her haircut. Looks good. Oh, that's really cute. That's the way it sticks across. Anyway, good lord, what was I saying? Something about if anybody has any interest at all about seeing the way things are put together down here, feel free to show up and look around. Well, preferably, you know, talk to a producer. Don't just like meander the halls and like try to homestead it or anything. But seriously, this is a public facility, and the whole point behind community television is to involve, as you may have guessed at this point, the community. And I encourage anybody who has any interest at all to come down here and find out what it's all about. How you doing? Wow, that sure is dark, isn't it?
Yeah. We can see your bright and shining face now.
My, yes.
I have a request.
She has a question. Hold on.
A
Yes,
request.
go ahead.
Can I be on air for a little while tonight because a friend of mine's taping it so I can show my relatives next week.
Okay. All right. Well, looks like we're going to have a little switch here at the beginning. We're going to have, I guess, Melissa and Wendy. Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay. And if anybody has an ice pick and a ball peen hammer handy, please bring it down to the studio so I can tap my sinuses. What else? Okay, I guess I've given enough time to babble. I want to go ahead and get the disclaimers out of the way. Number one, what is this show about? Is it about looking at a gray screen with black letters and the word October written in German and listening to some guy just be a talking head? No, it's not that. I'll change the screen eventually and you get to listen to a couple of talking heads. Basically, Catharsis, the premise behind it is that it allows you, the viewer, the opportunity to call up and discuss with us anything of a personal nature on an emotional level that is concerning you, either something you have gone through in the past, something you are currently going through, something you feel you just need to get off your chest, or something you would just like to share with us. We would like to emphasize that this is not a political show. This is not a religious show. There are plenty of those on the various channels that Access supports. Excuse me. And I would also like to point out that Just to clarify, and I won't dwell on it a whole lot this right now because I know I'll have to answer this 2 or 3 more times in the near, half hour. We are not professionals. We do not want anybody to believe that our word is gospel or anything. Oh, damn, I forgot to set the microphones. Anyway, please take everything we say with a grain of salt. We're here just trying to be an ear. We're here to be your neighbor, the neighbor you've never met who listens to your problems anyway. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take a little break, and we'll get the set up. Looks like Wendy and Melissa are going to take it for a little while. That'll be good for everybody. Please be patient. Oh, good morning, Michelle. And Alex and Judy, if y'all are up, good morning. I'd say good morning to everybody else that I could, but I'm not going to because I don't feel well. Oh, I guess I will say good morning to Kim. I will say good morning to Chantal. Let's see, who else? Laura, good morning. I've been lazy today and I haven't written anybody, so if you didn't receive any mail from me today, don't worry, you're not alone. There are plenty of people who are pissed off at me just the way you are. Meanwhile, give us a little time. We'll get things squared away. Thanks.
Actually, I've been wanting to come down for a while.
All right,
to see,
you're going out now.
Show and find out about equipment and stuff. And I picked up the packet because I want to get a do the show really.
There you go.
I was wondering. Well, I really was wondering how. I think I could show like on Saturdays or Sundays and they show like videos, like hip hop videos.
Oh, raw time?
Capsize.
Capsize?
Capsize, but then there's another show. There's another show.
V-Line or something like that?
MV or something has MV on there.
I don't know.
Like in the corner, and it's like a sister and something talking.
Mm-hmm.
She talks. She's like speaks, talks about the music industry, and then she shows videos. I was wondering how she got a hold of those videos. I want to do something like that, and also just the format like this, just talking about.
Y'all look really great. Y'all are going out.
Okay.
We're going out. We
We're
don't look
live.
really
Hey.
great. I'm looking in the monitor right now.
The lighting is wonderful. Y'all look great.
My hair looks brown.
marvelous, baby. Hey.
But
I can see
wait.
the monitor. I can
Okay,
yeah,
fix the hair real
do
quick.
the hair thing.
Hey!
Well,
It's like taking away my mirror. How can I fix my
Okay.
hair if I can't see what it looks like?
Take away their shoes and mirrors and hide their makeup.
You take away the shoes, you die.
Anyway,
Okay. Oh, lost 2 of them.
I think you want to dismiss those.
Oh well, here we go.
Are you ready?
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
Hello?
Hello.
Who's the new girl?
I'm Wendy.
Hello?
Hello.
Kill him.
Can't hear him.
Hi there.
Hey, Melissa. Let's see the
Hey.
shoes this week.
As always.
We're having technical difficulties, so if you'll bear with us, as soon as we can hear you, we'll talk to you.
Hi there.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me finally?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Better.
negotiable. Yeah.
You got red pussy!
Okay.
There
This
we
is
go.
the way this is going to work. We've got some ground rules here.
You must
Let me
worship
state
us.
the ground rules. Basically, I'm grumpy.
No.
If I don't like the way you sound, I hang up. If Wendy doesn't like the way you sound,
Gone.
we hang up. If you laugh, we hang up. If you sound like a kid, we hang up. Anything else that you can think of?
If they worship us,
If you
They-
worship
you may
us,
stay.
you may stay. Hi, do you worship us?
Do you like the way I sound?
Hey, by the way, the ones that are going to be flashing, like line number 3, are the ones that I've already screened. He's a shaky one, but go ahead and try it one time.
okay.
Why am I not comforted by this? Why does this not?
Early. This is going to happen in the beginning.
We know. Go for it. Wrong button. Hi there.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Hi.
Hello?
We're
Sorry,
getting
my
a lot of
TV.
feedback. We're trying to
There
fix
we go.
that.
Okay, I can barely hear you guys. Yeah, I usually watch the show and, damn, bitch, you got fat.
Okay. In the future, Shelly's not allowed to screen.
Bring us the phone.
Not a little remark.
Okay.
Don't hurt my feelings.
Let me take a moment, if I may, to say hello to my family since I am recording this, and to all my cousins and aunts and uncles and everybody. Yes,
Oh, that's
it is
right.
me.
In Ohio.
Ohio. I'm not from Ohio.
The
All my
voice from
parents
offstage.
all my relatives live in Ohio.
From Ohio.
Where at?
Paul's from Ohio.
Springfield.
Paul is from Ohio.
I don't know where
Little
Springfield
town
is.
outside called Yellow Springs, where
I'll
Antioch
put you on
College
ignore.
is.
Stay there.
Not familiar with it. I'm going to Canton and Warren,
Hello?
the
South?
happening towns that they are.
Is it north or is it south?
Central, maybe? Near Akron?
Near Akron? That's north.
North, okay. Then north. As you can tell, I'm so familiar with Ohio, but hey, it's been a long time since I've seen them, so I'm looking forward to it. Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm done.
That was special.
Thank you.
It was really special. So,
Do I have to take abuse now?
probably so. Hi there.
Hi, girls. I want to talk about a little problem I've had recently with my roommate.
Okay.
It has to do with, this is an topic, mail fraud.
Mail fraud.
Yeah, I want to know if you guys can give me some input, and maybe you guys might see this in a different light. See, my roommate, he's a real cool guy, but he's got a real problem with ordering stuff through the mail. And like last year, he like ordered like Columbia House and BMG stuff, like under a couple of assumed names. I didn't think that was weird. And now he's ordering a lot of stuff under my names, friends' names. He sends stuff to people's houses. He's like, he doesn't order anything under his name now. He's like weird. And like a couple of weeks ago, a postal like inspector guy came here. And he was investigating something that my roommate like made me like. 'Cause he's really sophisticated, and he somehow tricked. I wasn't there, but the postal inspector talked to me real quick, and he tricked the postal inspector. Now he's still got like tons of stuff coming under assumed names and through different addresses and stuff, and funneling all kinds of weird stuff. And I'm thinking that this could really turn into a problem if they come back. And you know, I lied already, and I was wondering, you know, should I go tell like the post office people that what he's doing? Because it even confuses me. I see stuff like with 3 postmarks on it. I mean, they're coming like from different states. I mean, he funnels everything from me. He gets like illegal stuff too, like pornographic stuff and just weird mail order stuff. And he sends stuff to my friends. He even sends stuff to my girlfriend. It's real weird that way now. I don't know what he's doing.
He sent stuff to your girlfriend?
Yeah, he sent like what was it? Like a Playboy subscription to her. Like one of those things where you order for your friends or something. It's real weird.
Have you talked to him about it?
Yeah, I mean, he thinks it's funny, and it was kind of funny when he used to order like EMG like under like sports players' names, like Joe Namath and stuff. And that was kind of funny. See that come to the house, but it's really getting weird now. I don't even know what the hell. I think he's ordering bombs. I don't even know.
It's getting weird.
He's like getting stuff from Germany that really looks illegal. I mean, like weird packages that I don't see. I mean,
Well, what do you think are in the weird packages?
He won't let me look at them. He's real secretive that way with his like packages. I mean, the UPS guy's here every other day. I mean, I practically know the guy by like a first-name basis.
Well, I can honestly say that I've never heard anything quite like this before.
Yeah, this is like escalated over like a 9 month. Well, I've known him. I lived with him last year, but he got just stuff under his name. But since like 9 months a year, he's really like switched on me. Like I think he like might have like a phobia or something where he doesn't like want to use his name, which I can understand. Some people go and assume names, but he's like using like 10 different names.
Well, I would think that he would have companies everywhere looking for him.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's why the post. I mean, I don't think he told me something. He doesn't pay half these bills. He like signs up, to the assumed name, gets all the free CDs and everything, and then he doesn't, order like the obligated stuff
Right.
like, within the time. Like so, he's got like collection officers and he said something. He had got a letter from a couple of DAs in other counties, want him or something. So, I mean, I hope I'm not. Since I live with them, I'm aware of this. They might, this is like I think some of the stuff's pretty federal. Like, I could get like prison time. So I'm really
Yeah,
kinda
postal
nervous.
stuff can get pretty serious.
However, I don't want to say that I don't think that you have anything to worry about.
Oh yeah, he's not like gonna kill me or anything. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried. Yeah, I'm just worried about just the possibility of the law coming in and they would obviously know I'm aware of this. I get the mail a lot.
Well, contact the postmaster and find
Yeah,
out.
see, because in the post office, guy came here a couple weeks ago. And he'll say, why didn't you tell me then? You covered up for him.
I would just contact the
'Cause,
postmaster.
I'm pretty sure that the federal contract can conceal information, like when a federal worker or something is like investigating. I mean, it was really weird how the guy. So my roommate wasn't here. And he sat me down and just asked me a few questions. And my roommate told me he might be coming, so I was kind of prepared. And I said I wasn't aware of any of this stuff coming. And we do get some wrong mail, but we always return it and stuff like that. So I mean.
I would find out what kind of legal obligation you were under.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's a lawyer, and I told him about it. He said it's kind of funny, but don't really worry about it. But that was a little while ago when it wasn't.
It wasn't strange, mysterious
Yeah, I
packages
mean,
from Germany.
recently, my girlfriend's been sending the name Melissa McDaniel. It's Shelley Cumberland.
Hi there.
Hey, what's up?
Hello. Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hey there.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi. What can we do for you?
Well, I'm just tired of people calling in and making crass remarks about your appearance. I think you're just gorgeous, and I think most people think you're very attractive, too. You've got a beautiful face. You've got beautiful eyes. You keep yourself where your hair is gorgeous. I can't tell that you're fat, and even if you were, it wouldn't make much difference, and I just thought somebody ought to tell you that.
Oh, why, thank you. You're so sweet. Oh.
I don't know you.
Wendy's
I'm
feeling
here.
neglected.
I'm usually behind the scenes.
She is. She's our
See.
technical
Well, you're
director.
pretty too, but they've been calling in on Melissa for years now, it seems, and I'm just tired of it.
So, well, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hi there.
Hello?
Do
Hello.
you worship us?
I worship you.
Ooh.
You may stay.
Okay, anyway, I was just saying, Wendy, I find you a very attractive lady, and same with you, Melissa, and I love you both, and just keep on the good work.
Oh, well, thank you.
you.
All right, bye.
There you go. And see, now your folks in Ohio, I wanted to say Oklahoma or
No.
Oregon or one of those O
O's.
states. Or
It's
maybe it's
Ohio.
Ontario. Or let's think of all the O
O's.
places. Oz.
Oz, yeah, that's it.
Well, you're kind of like a munchkin.
Hey, no short jokes. I'm not that short.
Hi there.
Hello.
Do you
Hello.
worship us?
Well, not really. My wife's sitting here, and
Oh,
I'm sorry, y'all aren't my type. That's okay, though. Anyway, I was wondering, that guy that was talking to y'all about this weird mail thing he had going on, why did y'all hang up on him?
Why did we hang up on him?
Yeah, what did he say? I missed it, or I must have. I'm not real sure. I'm trying to pay attention, but...
Well, he said that this guy had sent
No, I know, but
a Playboy subscription to his girlfriend, and then he gave the girlfriend's name.
Ah, okay. I didn't key into that. Well, what do y'all do? I know I've watched y'all a few times. Y'all answer people's questions and try to direct them in a way to deal with some kind of problem. Is that basically what y'all are doing, or y'all just there so people call up and talk to you and you can exchange ideas with people?
No, basically, when Catharsis is having a good night,
Right.
we basically facilitate conversations with outside individuals, people who want to share a strong emotional experience that they've had,
Just
sort
kind
of
of
purge themselves of bad
Right.
feelings.
Okay. I mean, I know what catharsis means. I was just not... I wasn't sure, because it doesn't seem like it's a purging. I guess when people call up and they talk about their problems that maybe they hadn't talked about, it is a purging of some sort. So.
Well, it can be. It just depends on how the night's going. Sometimes somebody just wants a little feedback, not necessarily advice, but feedback.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like basically all we're doing is babysitting the public and making sure that they're not climbing clock towers shooting other people.
This sounds like a good idea. Well, not the climbing towers shooting other people, just
But the
that
babysitting?
y'all are. I mean, it does seem like y'all are babysitting sometimes, because a lot of the people who call up and make the lewd remarks, it just really makes them look their IQ, I guess you'd say. Anyway, y'all have a good show, and it's pretty cool, so keep on doing it.
Thank you.
Later.
Line 1 is the woman you hung up on a little while ago because you couldn't hear her. She managed to come back through. She sounds sincere. I've said that before, but...
I thought we said you weren't allowed to screen anymore.
It's my show. I get to scream. Anyway, seriously, try her. Give her a call. Give her a try. Line 1. I told her to speak up.
Hi there.
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we
Yeah,
can.
you hung up on me before.
Oh, well, we didn't think that you could hear us.
Is my voice too low or what?
Oh, you're fine right now.
Oh, okay. I just wanted some advice because, let's see, my boyfriend, okay, basically, I'm kind of like losing my trust in him because, let's see, he's lied to me twice, okay? And, I told him that I didn't want, a guy that is like, really into drugs and stuff. And, well, he wasn't, and then he started up again, and I don't know, basically he's like saying I'm trying to control him and stuff, and I don't know, I just want some advice on that.
Okay. Before we really delve into the idea of giving you advice, I mean, you've given us just a little background information about your boyfriend. You say you don't feel like you can trust him?
Yeah, well, let's see, we've broken up. We've been going out for like 3 years. We've broken up 4 times. And every time it's the same thing. So.
Drugs?
Well, basically, because I was into it, and now I really don't do it that much anymore, but I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, before, like, now he's like buying it. Before he wasn't buying it, he was just doing it whenever it was around. But it's like, I don't know, and I never get to see him, so basically, it's like I'm starting to lose my trust in him. I don't know if I should just see what happens or just, I don't know, because it's really annoying me, kind of.
Well, what do you feel like is more important to him, you or the drugs? If he had to make a choice.
Well, see, the first, I asked him that before, and whenever he was really into it, he said drugs. And then, okay, now...
And you stayed with him?
Well, yeah, but, and now he's just like, oh, me, and then I don't know I don't feel like, I don't know if I should just wait and see what happens, see if the same thing's going to happen, or if I should just break up with him and just end it right now, or...
Well, you said that y'all have broken up 4 times in the 3 years, and has any of them lasted a significant period of time?
Well, yeah, every time we get back together, it's, really good and stuff, and then, I don't know, one of his friends gets him to do it again or something.
Do you really see yourself having a future with this man?
Well, yeah, I do.
You do. So you could see yourself married to him, having kids with him?
Yeah.
Even though you, right now, are not sure if you trust him or not?
I don't know, I guess I sound kind of stupid, but...
Well, no. There are no easy answers, and it's very difficult to be in a relationship, especially a long-term relationship. And if you discount the number of times that you've broken up, you've been together essentially 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been together 4 years. That's a long time. You get very comfortable with someone. It's very safe to be with that person, and it's a very scary world not to have that person there. But at the same time, this is a man who has told you in the past that the drugs were more important than you were. He's told you that. And you feel like he's becoming more involved with that particular lifestyle again.
But see, he's changing. He's getting better, every time. So.
He gets better every time.
And then he gets worse.
Is he better now?
Well, yeah, except today he kind of made me upset, but I don't know. I was just saying some advice. Do y'all would just take it or dump him or what?
Take it or dump it?
Talk to him.
We don't know enough about it. I can't tell you, oh, break up with him and have that be a legitimate, straight answer. I can tell you personally, I wouldn't want to be involved with somebody who was buying drugs, taking drugs, for a lot of reasons. One reason in particular is that it alters their perception of reality.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't want him to do it. But I don't want him to, I'll get all wrapped up in it and just totally forget about me. That's what I don't want.
How wrapped up are you in him?
Well, I'm pretty wrapped up in him, I guess. That's why it's bothering me so much. I guess that's why I feel like I don't really trust him.
I mean, how old are you?
17.
17?
Yeah.
17? Oh my gosh, how old is he?
19.
19.
See, that's where,
You're so young. Have you ever really dated anybody else?
Yeah. There's the times we've been broken up, I've dated other people, and I've dated a lot of people before him, so.
See, at 17, now you have to understand, I'm 27, so I'm talking about 10 years here.
But I feel like I'm more mature than he is, I guess girls mature faster than guys. But
Well, there aren't many 19-year-old guys out there that I would say are particularly mature. My tongue is so twisted tonight. Are especially mature.
Yeah,
That just seems to go with the territory of being 19. I can't say that there are many women who are that mature at the age of 19. And you don't know that until you get past 19.
But see, he was sober for 5 months, so. I don't know, maybe he's just getting all wrapped up in it. I just don't want him to just totally forget about me and totally, screw me over. And
Well, do you have any reason to believe that he would do that? What is he like when he's on the drugs? We say the drugs. What is he doing?
Yeah.
What drugs are we talking about here?
Basically, just pot.
Just pot.
Yeah, that's it.
So he's apathetic and hungry.
Basically, yeah.
Got the munchies all the time.
Yeah. I smoke it with him, but I don't like smoking as much as, I think that he does. But, I'll smoke it every once in a while, but, it's not like, I know, when, I don't want to smoke it anymore. So.
Is he in school?
No, he dropped out a long time ago.
Oh, he's dropped out.
Yeah, he dropped out at 16.
And
Is
are
he
you
working?
in school?
Yeah, I'm still in school. It's my last year, and he's working. Let's see, he can't keep a job very long.
No, I don't think so. Probably not.
Yeah, he didn't have a job for 5 months.
There just seems to be something. Now, I've had friends, I've had relatives who can sit there and justify pot. And I can come up with 101 reasons why it's even better than alcohol.
Yeah.
And alcohol, of course, is legal.
Right.
But it boils down to this. I've never known anyone who got into the habit of smoking every day, who could keep a job, who could keep grades, who could keep a relationship.
Well, he just started smoking it, a lot just recently, within the past couple weeks. I just don't want things to be like they used to be. He has I guess, an addictive personality, I guess you'd say, because he used to do heroin a long time ago, when he was 12.
That's a very frightening thing to lose.
Yeah, so, but, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just don't want him to screw up. Basically, I don't want to be with someone like that, but I still want to be with him, I don't know, because I love him, I guess.
Have you talked to him, told him what you just told us? How, your fears? in this?
Yeah, but I feel like I'm just like, you know, like complaining all the time or something. I don't want to be like, you know, complaining all the time. And he mentioned something to me about me controlling him, and I really don't see how I'm controlling him. I'm just, you know, telling him my standards.
Well, it depends. Maybe he feels like you're nagging him. Maybe that's the reason he justifies doing some of the things that he does. As long as somebody's telling me I can't, I will. Right.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he's just like, just a kind of rebellious thing against me or something. I don't know.
I don't know. My gut instinct would be to get away from him.
Yeah.
If it were me, that's what I would want to do.
You know, if it's someone that you think, you know, you say you can see the two of you together in the future, well, you know, the old saying, if you love something, set it free, and if it comes back, it was meant to be, and all that.
Yeah, it's come back 4 times.
Well, you might want to, you know, both of y'all are still real young.
Yeah, that's true.
And that if y'all do separate, you know, not necessarily break up for good, but just maybe cool it for a little while, you know, you'll be able to finish school and everything, and, you know, maybe he'll come around.
Yeah, he just like is the one that asks me back every time we break up. So, I don't know, maybe some of the other callers will have some kind of advice or something. I'll let y'all move on to the next call.
Okay.
All right, thank y'all.
Good night.
All right, bye.
Very well done. Line 2 says that he wants to respond to that caller. That's a good.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm calling about that girl that just called right now. I guess most of us, I guess, like you say, are a little bit older than she is and a little bit more mature, but once you start getting into that situation, it's probably best if she just moves on. You know, not just hang around and wait till it gets really, really bad. Let's say, well, I'm 25, and, you know, I've been there before, too, and it doesn't get any better. You know, so it's probably better off just moving on to the next one.
Yeah, it's hard to walk away.
It's hard to go on and say, oh, I'll find me someone else, because you think, oh, 4 years, that's been a long time, but, you know, I've been in 1-3 that was just as bad, and you say, but when the other one does come around, then you say, well, you know, it's time to move on, and you'll realize when you get that new one, that probably it was a good move.
So, thank you so much for calling in.
Line 3.
Hi there.
Hello?
Hello.
I have, like, my friends and my roommates think that I'm an alcoholic because I have memory lapses, and it's happened on several occasions, and I just wanted to know what y'all thought about that. Is that a sign, or what do you think?
You're having memory lapses after drinking?
Yeah, like, pretty bad ones. I mean, I don't even remember, like whole hours and stuff.
And you don't find this alarming?
Well, no, not really. I mean, because I drink pretty heavily, you know, when I drink. I don't drink, like, every day or anything, but on the weekends I drink really heavily, so I just thought it came with the territory, I guess.
Well, I would assume so. If you drink very heavily on the weekends, if
Passing
you drink
out is
to the point that you pass out and black out, then
well, I don't.
It is one of the recognized
right.
signs of being an alcoholic if you are starting to have memory lapses.
Well, I've also heard, because, I mean, I'm under 25, and I guess I've been drinking since I was 17, like 21 now, so, that's not long enough to develop a problem as serious as that, is it?
Oh, okay. Just for the benefit of the people who are watching and taking this call so much more seriously than I am, I'm going to say that if you truly believe that, if you truly believe that you cannot develop a problem with alcohol between the ages of 17 and 21, then you're just very much mistaken, because if you are predisposed to being an alcoholic, you could be an alcoholic at the age of 9. Once you start drinking, if you have that addiction to alcohol, that craving where one drink isn't enough, then you do have a drinking problem.
Right.
Okay, well...
Yeah.
Can I pick them or what? Can I pick them? Do I know? I know.
I'm going to.
Are you
Step
leaving
off.
me? Don't leave me.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm trying my best.
So, no, it's okay.
It's not that. Don't worry about it.
So,
Three may be sincere.
but
2 wants to talk about the girl with him. About the girl with the boyfriend.
okay. Well, we haven't worked our way over here yet. So. Hi there. What can we do for you?
Yeah, I just want to say that girl's stupid if she stays with that guy. He's a loser.
So, well, thanks for the input. Thanks. Hi there. Hi.
Yes, I was just wondering where Shelley was.
He's back in the control room screening tonight.
Oh, he is?
He'll be on later. In fact, I thought he was coming on in just a second.
Oh, okay. Well, will you tell him that the wet mop said hi?
The what?
The wet mop.
The wet mop. Shelley! Woo-hoo!
And Michael the dog.
And Michael the dog.
Hold on. These are losers. Fuck them. They're obnoxious little children who don't have anything better to do. Can y'all hear me in there? Can y'all hear me in there?
Now we can.
Apparently, everyone could hear that.
That's fine. They're don't worry about them. They're just some people who have nothing better to do with their lives. Moving on to more pleasant green valleys, I haven't screened any of the three calls. It's a little bit like a crapshoot at this point. I'm sorry. I'll screen as soon as I can.
Hi there.
Eat a dick.
Hi, what can I do for you tonight?
You're still a fat bitch.
Hi there.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, I'm here?
Yeah.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
Okay, I wanted to know, I used to live in Texas, and I was forced to go back to New Jersey, and then my mother kicked me out again, and she told me to go back down to Texas, and as she told me to come down here, she told me never to call her again, or never speak to her again, and then after I left, she keeps on calling constantly. What should I do? Do you think I should not speak to her? Because this constantly happens.
Wow. Wow. What should you do?
Yeah.
How do you feel about her? Yeah.
Well, see, I feel very confused about the matter because I don't like what she does, you know. Because to me, it's like my mother.
I don't think it's just an issue of being able to say, well, yes, I should talk to her because she is my mother, but she kicked you out. But it sounds to me as though there is a very long history of personal problems here, and I'm sure you haven't told us everything. I'm sure
Well,
a
no,
great
see,
deal is
yeah,
going on.
I understand that there's a lot of problems with her, and I'm not saying I'm the perfect kid here either, because I'm 18 years old, and I know I have problems, and I need to go, you know, sometimes see a psychiatrist, but I know she needs to see one too, and she's like so deep into the problems right now that she doesn't see herself needing a psychiatrist. And I even mentioned it to her. I said, if this family's going to work out, we both have to see a psychiatrist. And she says, no, you're the one that has the problem. So.
Personally, if it were me, and it's very difficult to say, I wouldn't talk to her or be involved with her unless I was absolutely certain that that would be what was best for me.
I have an emergency interruption from Wet Mop to the number 477-2288. Will you release your line?
I'm going to talk to her.
No, we will not release the line.
Hold on.
Hold on, please.
Wow, this gets taken care of.
Well, I hope the caller stays on line 1.
Sure he will. Hopefully stay there.
Hello?
Okay. Hi, sorry about that.
Okay.
Anyway, what I was trying to tell you before we were so rudely interrupted was that I wouldn't talk to her if I were you unless I was absolutely certain that I could do so without harming myself further. Protect yourself here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it sounds like you have been through, I'm sure this is a lot. Well, that would be an understatement.
Right.
I'm sure it's a gigantic understatement. And as you said, no, you probably haven't been the perfect child who is.
Exactly.
But you can't help her.
I mean, because, I mean, I just came back down to Texas on Sunday, and before I left, my sister was trying to fight with me, and actually she hit me, and I'm the type of person where I'm the good kid and I don't hit women or anything, and my mom was trying to fight to have my sister sign assault charges against me, and, I mean, legally I could have done the same exact thing, but they said I had to go to jail if I was to do so, and after she was, like, begging the cops for me to be taken to jail, and
she wanted me to go down to Texas, I told her that if you want me badly to leave, that you're going to give me $800, and she did it. And now, after she gave it to me, she's calling my roommates here in Texas, which I have them backing me up, telling her that I'm not here whatsoever, and they haven't heard from me in a while. I mean, I don't answer the phones or anything.
So you don't even know what she wants to talk to you about?
No. Well, actually, when I was staying in the hotel, I called my voicemail out of New Jersey, and she told me that she wanted to say something to me, and that she misses me or something like that, and, like in this crying voice. And I thought it was like such a waste, you know, because she tells me like to get on with my life, get on with your life, do what you have to do. You're so immature and so on to this and that. And then when I go down here and to start my life, then she interrupts me again. And every time I tell people where it's like, you don't understand my mother, I don't want to talk to her or anything, or I hate her because what she's done to me. And she's done a lot. I mean...
Well, it doesn't sound like this is the right time for the two of you to be working on your relationship.
Well, yeah, because I mean, after I told her, I was like, okay, if you want to go, you know, if you want me to go on with my life, I'll do it. And if it takes me a year, 2 years, 5 years, then I mean, I'm not going to talk to you during this period until I get on track with myself. And then she says, okay, that sounds a great idea. And then, like, after she says that, 10 minutes later, she'll try to call me.
Have you thought about professional counseling for yourself? I know that you've said, well, I need a psychiatrist and she needs a psychiatrist, but have you made any attempt?
Yeah, well, I am making an attempt, but do you think, like, I mean, I know I need to, you know, to see a psychiatrist and everything, but what about her? Do you think that I can go get professional help with her still calling?
You can't do anything for her.
Right.
Now, whether or not you're able to be successful with therapy or counseling is pretty much up to you. If you're ready for help and you find someone who can help you, and I really would recommend a professional counselor for this.
Okay.
And the two of you decide that it's okay for you to talk to your mom because you have the chance to really sit down and talk about this in depth and in detail, then great, go for it. But it sounds like a very dangerous, risky thing right now.
Yeah.
Maybe if you just feel that need to communicate and reach out, you could get a post office box and have her, you know, write you. You can write her.
Yeah, like what she tries to do is like, I used to have a P.O. box when I was down here in Texas before, and she would send me like, you know, $100, $150 in cash, and then like a letter. I want you back in New Jersey. I love my son. And then I went back to New Jersey, and she did this to me. She wanted to sign assault charges against me and all this other kind of stuff. So now I'm back in Texas, and I have a feeling if I give her her address that she's going to try to send all this money. I mean, I already told her, you send me the money, I'm going to take it. You know, especially if it's cash. You know, if it's a check, I'll rip it up or something. But I'm not going to be, you know, give it back to her. But she's trying to, like, win me over again, you know, bribe me with the money. And then when I go back there, you know, because it is my family, then she does this.
Well, then you could just write her. You could send her a letter explaining your feelings and your confusion and the steps that you're taking.
Every time I write her a letter, she'll reject it, you know. Like, every time I send her something and I actually tell her how I feel and what, you know, we have to do things, to make things work out, she'll, you know, write me a letter back, or she'll call me or something and tell me, you're the confused one, you need the counseling, you need this, you need that, I'm perfect. You're not. You know, that's the basic, you know, term of the letter, and it destroys me to read it. You know, that type of thing.
If it destroys you to read a letter from her, do you really want to talk to her?
Right.
See, I don't want to talk to her. You know, since I've been down here, I haven't called her or anything, and she has made attempts to, you know, try to reach me, but my roommates answer the phone constantly, and my roommates tell her that I'm somewhere in Pennsylvania, even though I'm not. I'm right here in Austin. You know, we're trying to throw her off guard of where I'm at. Because, I mean, I feel comfortable totally of not talking to her because of what she's done, you know. And so, like, how can you do this to me and expect to talk to me again?
And you said that you were working on counseling. Do you have a counselor right now?
No, I don't. I'm trying to find one that's, you know, not too expensive and that would listen.
Do you work, or are you in school?
Yes, I work.
You work. Do you have insurance?
No.
No. Yeah, kind of hard to get insurance. Gosh, I'm trying to think of...
Every time if I tell friends or something that, you know, I don't want to talk to my mother, I always get that comment back, well, it is your mother, you know. Well, yeah, it is my mother, but...
Well, that doesn't necessarily...
I mean, I was always
right.
told that... I was always told if it's an unhealthy relationship, then don't do it.
An abusive relationship is an abusive relationship.
Regardless of who it's
it
with.
is.
Right. So... Gosh, I'm trying to think of a source to put you in touch with where you might be able to find out about counseling services or at least a support group that doesn't cost anything.
Right. There may be some dysfunctional family support groups around.
Yeah, my favorite answer is look in the back of the Chronicle.
Excuse me, have you ever heard of Waterloo Counseling? I thought about going there.
I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
See,
what would you guys recommend? Do you think like an open support group would help, or private counseling?
It depends on what type of person you are. If you feel more comfortable talking to someone one-on-one, you know, then private counseling. But if you're fairly comfortable, you know, telling a group of people what's going on, and if you think they're, you know, you could benefit from their feedback, you might want to go for the group. But that's something that you're going to have to decide.
One of the factors that you might consider is counseling's expensive.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to. That's
right. You don't have the means right now for private counseling. If you can find somebody who's willing to volunteer their time, if you can find someone who's willing to volunteer their time, great. Or if you can find someplace where they give a discount, you know, somebody who's giving half rates, sort of as a charity option at one of the mental health centers in town. Wonderful. But I would think even one of the support groups, and there are many, many support groups in Austin, it's just that kind of a city,
right?
Yeah.
Would be a better option than sitting around trying to work through this on your own.
Yeah, because I tried sitting on my own and working through it, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I feel that urge to call her because of people telling me it is my mother, but on the other half, it's like it's a waste to call her. You know, because every time when I was down here before in Texas for like a year, I was like halfway up the ladder, you know, doing really good. And when I went back there, now it's like I feel at the bottom again, and I really wasted the whole year here. You know, and it happens every single time. You know. The only way I figure of talking to her again is once I go through college and everything, and I have like all this money. You know, she can't do anything to me to get me back to Texas, and get me back to New Jersey. You know, like have a shield around me. So anything she says really is not going to do anything. You know, but I mean, this happened a couple of times where she tried to throw me out, and I ended up back there. I mean, this time I don't think I want to go back there at all. You know, because I mean, this happens with my sister too. But my sister doesn't, you know, my sister talks to my mother because of the money, you know. My sister only wants the money and that kind of stuff. Because, like, even when my sister turned 18, I mean, she's, I think, 22 now, my mother broke my sister's nose because of it, you know. And my sister doesn't do anything about it. So, my sister, I don't even think understands where I'm coming from. And that's a big problem.
Yeah, it sounds like a very big problem.
Just, you know, for the money issue, you know, try the groups.
Try the groups.
Good luck with whatever decision you do make.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, call us back and let us know how you're doing.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, yeah, I'm freezing to death.
Yes, it's
we're
very cold.
taking a break.
We're gonna break
just for a second. It's the freezing to death break in here.
Burr cold. So, yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
What made you? Did you guys come up with the concept of the show?
Oh, it is his show. When he says it's his show, he thought that all along.
I was being ripped to shreds doing it by myself in my little piece of all at my total smart house. I had been a passionate friend of Melissa. She was one of the things that was enjoying it. She just came to mind because she was the only person who had experience in the show. Things are should be.
Really? Like when you go by yourself, people just like drilling into you, or absolutely.
No.
But then once you came on the show, did it stop? I figured it was crazy.
But for me, it was having somebody there that, you know, I had to learn to curb my for any reason, respect for her, that she was around on very different. She's not like flying out too much. Don't smart ass back. It doesn't really work.
How long since high school? I just.
That show runs real fun. Sometimes I can stay.
So that's really good. I mean, interesting. Just interesting. Yeah, exactly. The sunrise is just. Can't even get a call.
Very, very good. Girl that worked on the habit.
John Bill.
No. You got that.
Trying to figure out who that was. Well, it's also sounding like you knew your last name too. The post office guy. Why did you say Shelley? Shelley cut him off.
Cut him off.
I mean,
That's a ski mask.
No. Oh, you gonna come on with me guys?
Cool.
You gonna come on out? I thought it brought by the tire. Excellent, excellent. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm wearing my TT Allen shirt.
I think I'm gonna call it quits. No, I'm gonna stay. I'm here for I'm with Wendy, so I guess I'm here until Wendy says whenever is fine with you. I handle it so well.
Oh, hello. I'll be taking my vacation.
As of tomorrow. Because I just see what happened is one of the instructors at ALC is having reconstructive surgery after breast cancer this week. And so I'm now in charge of one of the classes.
You would be happy customer, the one who says that no matter what you ever say, he's not taking any election.
Oh yeah, well he was fine yesterday. Today he was slipping off again. It's just like, whoa.
Stable of value.
Somebody give him Valium. Yeah. Yeah, this is the alternative brain I was doing teaching. So these are not your award winners. These are the ones that, like Pablo, the one who's looking on, he's listened to us ostensibly for tagging, writing your little name, or just purely naming, or both together. That's what he does. And he's proud of it. But that's what he was sent to school, but not just that. Also because when they were questioning him about it, he got mad and basically cursed out the school police officer on duty. And also he's on probation for carrying weapons, not once but twice. He's been on probation continuously since like 1992. It's 15. He's 15. And one's a very good night. I think the second one was 49. So every day we pass in through the metal detector. But the worst ones, do it again. The girls are the worst. There are only 3 of them. But I'm not kidding. When I said last week Sonia got upset and threw a guy right on the street. I mean, just nobody was really hurt.
Was he good for shit?
With Sonia, all you have to do, I mean, Sonia is truly delusional. She's just mentally unwell. There's no report. She thinks she's pregnant. She's like a year-round visitor to the ALC. The minute they send her back, this is no joke. This is what Sonia did last week. I know I'm taking this time. But on Wednesday, Sonia threw one of the students through a window to him. On Thursday, excuse me, and on the same day, she threatened the teacher, I'm going to get you on that, my gang stuff, and we're going to tell you. They were going to file aggravated assault charges against her. On Thursday, they say, no, don't do that, because she's in special education, and she has a card, and she's like an academic reassignment and assessment on Friday, and if we file these charges, she won't get to attend for art. So they don't file the charges, and they hold the art, and they decide that where she doesn't remain in special education, because she's in special education, she shouldn't get anything else, so they're sending her back to travel for home school. This person who's throwing people for windows is ready to work. How long do you think she's going to last to travel? Right, she's going to be back at ALC with them. And we started, I'm like, why did you bother to send her back? They were missing the paperwork. It's just... I just don't want Sonia cycled into my classroom. Right. I just want her to stay calm long enough because they bring them through in 4 weeks to cycle. But I never end up with her in my class. Oh, bad. Oh, so bad. Screen?
Oh, I feel so special. And you might want to change my name from Wendy to Shelley.
Oh, I like
Maybe.
it as Wendy.
Well, that's feminine enough.
We could not explore the options
Of gender bending.
No. no, we can't.
No fun.
Ah!
You mean y'all want heads? Y'all want the tops of your heads to show?
I thought the top of my head was showing.
Can't wait for this to start growing out some more.
So that you no longer have that little visor?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one reason. Yeah. Yes. Boy.
Hi, we're back. And we're still cold.
Well, you did wear a jacket. You'll
No,
warm
I'm
up.
wearing
You'll-
Wendy's jacket. And this is
I
what
looked at my backseat, I was like, I've got clothing in my car.
Wendy's now my bestest friend because she has a jacket.
You mean I wasn't your bestest friend before?
You are now that you have a jacket.
We need to just leave you one here, or maybe put one in Jerome.
Really? No, actually, there is a jacket in the back of Jerome, but Jerome's not here.
I see. Well, shall it be door number 1, 2, or?
3.
Ooh. Hi.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Fine.
Other than being cold. Listen, I wanted to say 2 things. First off, you were talking to the last gentleman who called in about possible counseling resources. There are tons of them. First off, Texas MHMR, any of the local hospitals, you can call them for information about things like support groups that are either low cost or no cost. So that might be some avenues that he might want to pursue. The other thing I was going to say was relating both to him and to the young lady who had called before that. I had something that happened with me recently that I think maybe they might want to take example from. I've had a pair of really good friends since like junior high school. I'm 25 years old now. And one of them was, always like the real popular guy. He always had the girls hanging all over him and all that kind of stuff. kind of manipulative and real charismatic. You know, everybody always liked him and all that kind of stuff. Well, the three of us have been friends forever, and of course, you know, like with any best friend, we've all shared secrets with each other. You know, well, I did this and I did that. You know, these are my dreams. This is what happened. And one of the things that I shared with the guy who's the charismatic type was, you know, some of the things that have happened in my life that I consider to be failures. Well, we've been friends forever. Like I said, you know, God, 10 years, I guess, or no, more than that. But recently, I was over at another friend of mine, a young lady friend, and we were just sitting around watching movies, drinking wine, and we were talking, and she revealed to me that he had said things to her about the things that I told him, you know, about some of the most deep events that had happened in my life that I consider to be personal failures, things that I would not talk to anybody about. And I started kind of putting things together, and I realized, you know, he's the type, I guess he has a self-esteem problem. He's the type that, you know, when we're out in public or something like that, he's always cracking jokes at other people's expenses. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know, more and more recently, especially over about the last year, I've noticed that it's even come to the point where it's the inner circle, me and the third guy, who are, you know, always kind of the quiet types in the trio. I suddenly realized, you know, we're taking a lot of these jokes, and then I find out that he's going around behind my back, and I guess to inflate his own self-worth image, putting us down. And I realized, you know, this is not a healthy friendship. This is not a healthy relationship like y'all were talking about earlier. And I finally made the decision, and it was really hard because we have been best friends for so long. I wrote him a real long, pretty nasty note, but, you know, I was just like, look, you are not what I would consider a friend. This is not healthy. You are damaging me on an emotional level, you know, and you're not, this isn't being a two-way street. It's not being friendship on both ways. And I think maybe, I mean, hopefully that anybody who gets into a bad relationship, whether it's friendship or mother-child or romantic or whatever, I mean, just realize that if it's not going well, if it is not healthy for both sides, and if it doesn't look like it's going to change, then, you know, get the strength to get out so you don't get hurt anymore. That's, you know, it took me a long time. It took me a long time to kind of like figure out that, you know, this is a pattern that's been developing over a long time. And I have made comments to this guy before about, you know, look, you can't dog your best friends. But I finally did kind of realize that, you know, this is just, I'm getting hurt by this. You know, my image in other people's eyes is being damaged and things like that. And because I kind of felt like it was overall a general bad friendship, I bailed out of it. And I don't know, I guess I'm just trying to say, you know, maybe other people can see that, hey, someone else did it, it works.
Can I ask you one thing, though?
Yeah.
Have you talked to him since he read your letter?
No. Like I said, this is going to sound really weird. He is very charismatic. It's really weird. And in fact, the third friend called me and was like mad at me because I had gotten so upset. And I was like, hold on a second. He's the one, I'll call him Jerry. Jerry is the one who has done all these hurtful things, you know, who's said these things, who has, you know, mistreated the friendship. And look at you, you're mad at me because I got away from it. You know, he's got this charisma thing. And to be honest, it's like I don't want to give him the opportunity to put on his charm and to say, oh, buddy, you know, we've been friends forever. You know, I'm tired of him
manipulating you?
Exactly. You know, I think it's an ego thing. He tries to get his ego boosted by putting other people down, and I'm just tired of being the butt of it.
That's a very common way for a lot of people to build their image. I'm just curious, did you manage to persuade your friend that you were just doing what you thought was right and necessary?
Sort of. The other guy I'll call David. David and I talked for a while, and it was like, you know, I told him, look, this is what has happened. This is the way he's treated both of us, for especially over about the last year. And I said, don't you see the pattern? And his response was, well, that's just the way he is. And I'm like, time out. You know, I've lived that way for a long time, you know, watching Jerry destroy relationships with females. He's the type of guy that, you know, will just dog a female, and she'll come running back for more. And at first, you know, when we were younger, it was like, oh, yeah, he gets all the girls and he does all this. But now I'm looking at him and I'm like, you know, I've never seen him in love. I've never seen him in a relationship that lasted more than like 6 or 8 weeks. And it's because he's like a user. You know, he while the relationship's new and fun, and you know how when you first get in a relationship, it's all fun, that's cool, but boy, once it starts getting serious or once there gets anything that's going to involve any real effort, it's like, see ya. So, I don't know, it's just real weird, and it for one thing, it hurts, you know, because he has been my best friend for years and years and years and years, and it's just kind of a pain to lose a friend, but...
It is. I had to burn a bridge with a friend of mine I was friends with for 8 years.
Yeah. And I don't know, I guess also kind of what I'm trying to do is like, you know, not only there are other people out there that seem like they need to burn bridges also, but do y'all think that sounds like the right thing? I mean, this is the solution I've found, and it seems to be okay, other than just the hurt of losing the friendship. But I mean, any comments?
Well, I think you've done the right thing. I think in this particular situation, you've done just what you needed to do, which was to get away from it, to protect yourself, to say, hey, you know, I realize that you're hurting me, and I'm allowing you to do it.
Yeah.
And if I keep allowing you to hurt me, then I can't really be mad at you anymore because you hurt me, because then it's my fault too.
Yeah.
Now, if he grows up enough to realize the friend he's lost in you and to miss that friend, and I'm sure he does miss you somewhat, and if he's able to get past the point of denying what he has done, because I'm sure right now he sees it very differently from you.
Yeah, he does.
But when he's able to realize that there's some truth in what you've said and that he does have some culpability here, then perhaps he'll be able to approach you and you can make amends, and maybe you'll never have the same type of friendship you had before, but you can have a place to start from.
Yeah. Well, when the other friend called, you know, he's like, well, he's trying to do things, you know, he's talked to a lot of people and they've, you know, said, yeah, you were pretty crappy to so-and-so, and, you know, you've been doing the wrong thing and stuff. And my other friend was like, well, you know, he's trying to be right. He's trying to do okay and everything. He's trying to treat people well. And I'm like, this is 2 weeks, you know, that he's making this effort. And I think it's real easy to do something for 2 weeks. But, you know, I don't know whether it's because it's almost like it's not so much that he's upset that he's lost a friend, it's that he so much craves people approving of him that I bailed on him, and I think it's more that he misses that approval than he misses the friendship, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, I don't...
But I'll add on to that.
Yeah.
First off, I'm going to agree with everything Melissa said. I'd like to tack on there, if there's any person in this world that he's going to wholeheartedly listen to and believe in, it's going to be those people who have been with him the longest and those people who have had the biggest influence on him. And it sounds from the way you're describing your relation that you're one of those people.
Yeah.
So perhaps, and you know, as you say, 2 weeks is certainly too early to tell, but perhaps, and you have that slim chance, maybe you made that effect.
Kind of hope so, because I do miss him, you know. That's the thing that really stinks the most, is that I do miss him, you know, because we were best friends for a long time, but I don't know, it's just really confusing, you know, because I've only got or had 2 close friends, you know. You hear that old expression, you're lucky if you have one true friend in your life. Well, I felt like I've had 2 up until this point. And so, you know, it's really hard to lose somebody that's that close to you, but at the same time, you know, it's like, well, gosh, I guess he's not really that close to me. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. It's kind of a pain, but like I said, for those callers that were calling in earlier with bad relationships, it can be done. It sucks, but it can be done.
Thanks for calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
2 is shadow. Line 1 is a love triangle that called a couple weeks ago on Sex and Ice between brother, himself, and girlfriend.
Well, if it's Sex and Ice, they'll have to wait till Sex and Ice.
Well, he said that he called during it, and you said they called back during Catharsis.
Okay. Shadow. I don't know anybody named Shadow. Hello?
You don't remember me?
Not by name. Oh, yeah, you...
Arizona girl.
I don't think we ever met, but you used to call.
Right. I tried to meet Melissa at Bell's a couple of times, but she wasn't working at the time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, well. I had to try. Anyway, y'all asked me to call back in and let y'all know how things were going. Well, she moved back to Arizona.
That's right. You had a girlfriend who was in Arizona or coming back or what? Recap for me, please.
Okay.
He was in love with this girl, and she was in Arizona, and they were carrying on. I'm sorry, I'm recapping for you.
Go ahead.
And they were corresponding and calling each other on the phone.
Right.
And
I'm remembering part of this.
He planned this very special weekend to profess his undying love, but she was involved with someone else, wasn't she?
Right.
Right. And she flew in to see you that time?
Yeah.
Or did,
And he's like, I'm perfect for you, and your mom thinks I'm perfect for you. Why don't you think I'm perfect for you?
yes.
Did she ever decide that you were perfect for her?
No, she moved back to Arizona on a permanent basis.
Oh. And how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I can see Cichlids still going by Shelley. No, I've got a couple friends, and I'm not going out with anyone. Just, hanging in there.
Yeah, well, I think there's a certain point after even kind of a lopsided relationship like that one was, where when you really realize it's over, completely, totally over, that you have to go through a period of mourning where basically all you want to do is kind of sit around and feel sorry for yourself and hate the opposite sex for a while.
Yeah, well, I didn't hate the opposite sex. I did crash for a little while, but it's, I miss her. But, it finally dawned on me that this just isn't going to happen.
But is it her that you miss, or that idea of her, the security of her?
I really miss her. I don't know how to describe it. But, I don't know,
How long has it been?
Since I last talked to her?
Oh, well, since she moved back to Arizona.
Oh, quite a while.
Months?
3.
3 months? How do you feel that you're doing?
Better.
Okay.
3 months really isn't that long.
Well, I talked to her the 21st of last month.
Ooh.
Called her for her birthday.
How did she receive you?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Does she still want to retain your friendship?
Yeah.
And I assume that you are still wanting or wishing things were different, right?
No, not now.
Really?
No, not now. I'm glad she moved to Arizona. Because now I don't have to put up with her.
That's one way to look at it.
Well, it's the only choice I have. She led me along by a string for too long, and I got tired of it. It went on for 6 years until I finally realized nothing was going to happen. 6 years is a long time.
I can understand being unhappy.
But anyway, so I was wondering, I have my best friend's girlfriend and I, which is a scary thought, are starting to get along a little better. She's going to be moving to College Station coming into this term for college.
Okay.
And so they will be breaking up. And
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
okay, my best friend's girlfriend and I are getting along.
Okay.
Okay, just as friends. And she's going to be moving to College Station at the end of this term to go to college. And so I was wondering if I should pursue that.
This is your best friend's girl?
Unfortunately, yes.
How much do you want to keep this best friend? How important is he to you?
There are just so many other women. Why this one?
I realize that she's the first woman you've really had a chance to get along with and spend time with since Arizona Girl, went back to Arizona. And so there's a lot of, I don't know, safety and comfort in that.
Like?
Well, for example, you've heard of the rebound, the classic rebound romance, where you're hurting from one relationship, so you fall into another relationship very quickly without a lot of thought, and sometimes it seems more important than it really is.
Have you not gone through that before?
I think we've lost him. Are you there?
He's gone. We've lost him.
I'm sorry I had trouble recalling your story. I do remember quite a bit of it now. If you can, Shadow, please go ahead and try to get back on. Huh?
You still may be there. No one's on air. Button's got to be changed. At least it doesn't show it in there.
Right. Let's try this. Hello?
Hello.
I'm going to put you on hold, okay?
Okay.
Oops. Hello?
Okay.
Are you back?
Yeah.
All right.
Just push
I don't know what happened to you.
Yeah. Pushed one too many buttons.
It's Wendy's fault. Wendy did it.
How do you know?
Because nobody else
wait a
was
minute,
touching
who is this
anything
new
with
face?
buttons.
Who is this new face?
Who is this new face? Wendy, come show your face.
No, I saw the face.
No. Come show your face anyway. Wendy's taping this for her family in Ohio, so we're getting Wendy on the air.
Okay.
There you go. Now if they fast forward, they can see you again.
Yeah.
So, she's our technical director. She's a wonderful person.
I've been doing this for a year. I'm behind the scenes.
She's behind the scenes.
And she brought the jacket for
And she
Melissa.
has been doing it for a year. And this is her jacket that I'm wearing.
Which, if you knew how chilly it was in here, is a very important thing.
Yeah, I heard y'all talking about it being cold.
It's about 60 degrees in here.
I'm sitting on my hands. That's how cold I am.
For a lot of producers, they like to jack the lights up really, really high, and it does get quite warm in here. In that case, I'll prefer to use low lighting, and it doesn't get very warm.
Anyway.
Anyway.
I've pretty much decided that I'm just going to let time take care of itself as far as things go.
I would be really careful about
Yeah, I'm
being
not
involved
going
with my best friend's girlfriend, though.
I'm not going to.
Even if they were to break up,
Huh?
even if they were to break up and she were somehow available, still, it would. I would never advise it. I really wouldn't.
Okay.
I think Melissa has a point in that she's had some proximity to you. She's been near you during this very difficult time. I think I can see why you'd get attached to her. I think I've done the same thing before. But
Well, what's ironic is that she knows Arizona Girl. I introduced them. But I agree. I'm not going to pursue that.
Yeah, find Arizona Girl's best friend and date her.
there's an idea.
I tried that and that crashed.
So, that was always a nice form of revenge.
Yeah, well, it won't work. But anyway, Cichlid, are you still on the boards?
I call after hours every blue. Well, I call about once or twice a day, but I don't stay on there but more than 30, 40 seconds. I call Matchmaker. I call Real Time all the time.
Matchmaker. 892.
Don't give out the number. Actually, it's best just to reach me at my internet address, cichlid@bga.com. I'm sorry I haven't written you back, by the way.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I've still got that down.
Lowercase, cichlid@bga.com.
I've got that written down somewhere from over a year ago when you gave it to me.
Okay.
My problem is my system's down. I can't get out. I was wondering if you know of any good ways, any good easy ways I could get online to keep my accounts going. Because like, what is it? Enterprise, they locked me out.
Really?
For no reason as far as I can tell. And I called the administrator and I can't seem to get back in.
That is strange. Maybe you should open up a new account.
Okay. Well, as soon as
Just
I
an
get
idea.
my system put back together, I'll do that.
Okay. Listen, best of luck to you and everything, and stay in touch.
All right. Well, I'll give you a ring in a few more months.
All right.
Bye
Take
now.
care.
Have a good night.
Bye.
I think Wendy's still wrestling with line 3, so let's try line 1.
Line 1, love triangle. Line 3, just graduated, moved in with parents, unhappy.
Line 1. Love triangle.
Hi, Shelly.
Yeah.
Melissa, how you doing?
Hi.
Shelly, I called you a couple weeks ago on the ladder show.
Right, and Wendy says I asked you to call back during Catharsis.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Refresh my memory.
Okay. There's a girl, and my brother and her were friends when we were growing up here in Austin, and she was too young for him then, and he went away in the military, and he came back, and she came to Austin, and they got together, and everything was cool, and
then he went back in the military. You know, he was just on leave. And so they kind of, you know, just got together real quick, and then he left. Well, about, I don't know, 9 months later, she moved back to Austin and called me and was like, hey, how you doing, you know, wanting to be friends. So we hook up, we start being friends and all, and everything's cool, and somehow it turned into more than that. And I said, well, wait, I said, you know, you're my brother's girlfriend. That's how I had pictured it. And somehow she convinced me, you know, hey, it was just a crush, you know, growing up with him, and that's why we got together, and that's not how it is. Well, so we got together, and then we were going out. Well, we weren't really going out, you know, it's kind of a, I don't know. Anyway, my brother comes back into town on leave, and she was like, I was like, well, we need to tell him, you know, this is my brother. I mean, I felt sleazy as it was. So she says, well, I want to be the one to tell him. So he was only in for like 3 days, and actually I asked him, you know, I asked him what happened, and he said, yeah, we you know, got together, and so he left, and then I said, well, did you ever tell him? And she said, no, I didn't, and so, but she couldn't understand why things were different between them, and so, which really scared her. I was like, what, you don't, I don't know, I couldn't understand that. It's like she's morally impaired. But anyway.
I'm going to have to use that phrase later. Thank you.
Well, it was kind of funny because earlier you said there's so many other girls out there, why this one? Well, you know, it's kind of, my brother and I have never went out with the same girl. It's always been, hey, you know, forget that. But anyway, well, he's back in town now. And, well, since, okay, when he went back, I said, there's something wrong with this. You know, first of all, you should have told him. Second of all, we can't be like it was before, you know. Well, somehow, between then, we had signed up for a class together.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So we're actually, we're kind of forced to see each other. Well, when he left the last time, and told me, yeah, you know, I got with her, he didn't know. Well, we're in class together, and I said, well, look, all we can do is study together. And I don't even think we should have done that, but anyway.
I started to say, why?
I have no idea. But anyway, so we were just going to stay together. Well, she wanted to do more than that. I kept, you know, saying no. Well, now he's back in town, and it's just kind of screwed up. I mean, he's kind of morally impaired too. My brother is.
Can I just say something?
Go.
I think this girl is playing some major games with both of you.
Oh, I know.
And if you have the power to change it, and it sounds to me like you do, then by all means change it.
Well, yeah, I've already changed it. I mean, there's no way I could ever go out with her, you know, I mean.
And she doesn't realize this though, right?
Well, yeah, well, I mean, I don't know.
Because the way you're telling the story, it sounds to me like she's still wanting, when he's in town, she's with him, but whenever he's gone, you're his substitute.
Basically, yeah, I told her, I said, I'm not second string here, hello. And she was like, I don't understand what's wrong. You know, he left last time. She's like, well, you know, we're back in business. I was like, no. But, I mean, he doesn't mind either, though.
Does she have a sister? Gonna reverse it just like you did.
The sister's about 4 years old, so.
No.
No.
Might have to wait 20 years.
I realized that, you know, you've known her for a long time. You knew her growing up, too, right?
Well, we didn't hang out that much, though. It's not like a big, like, heartbreak on my part. It's just kind of, she tried to get between my brother and I. And my brother and I sat down, and he said, look, you know, that ain't going to happen, but I'm still going to, you know, be with her. I mean, he's morally impaired also. I mean, they're going to...
Well, you know, if he wants her after finding out what kind of woman she's like...
But see, he taught her to be that way, though, and he's proud of that.
He taught her? No. Somebody doesn't teach you something like that.
Conniving 1310 coming up.
No. If it sounds like they deserve each other right now. It really does. If he doesn't mind, and she seems to be completely oblivious to what's wrong with the picture, then I think you're well out of it. I would find somebody new to study with.
I'm just curious now, from the way I understand your story, you haven't told your brother yet, right?
Oh, no. What happened is...
she was supposed to, and she balked.
When she didn't tell him, it was actually kind of funny. He called her apartment one night and talked to her roommate, and her roommate doesn't know either. And her roommate, joking around, said, "Oh, I think your brother's putting moves on her." And so he called me, and he was like, "Brett, you know, what's up?" And I told him, I told Shan, anyway, I told this girl that if he asked me, I was going to tell him. And if he came back in town, I was going to tell him. Well, he asked me point blank, and I said yes. And so then this time when he came back in town, I told her, I said he knows, you know, I mean, there's no way getting around it. He knows what's up. And so I don't know how they worked it out or whatever. I don't understand the whole thing. But yeah, I did tell my brother.
Okay, good.
And I don't know. We're totally...
Melissa has a real good point when it comes to things like this, and that is, don't tell somebody just because you're feeling a little guilty. But gosh, if he's aware of the situation now, and he's still not bothered by it or anything, then boy, they were made for each other.
Scary, isn't it?
And I'm sure that, you know, the fact that you're calling and the fact that you're concerned about the situation in the first place tells me the chances are this woman is definitely not doesn't have the standards you're looking for. This is a broken record thing, I say, but, you know, go find somebody better.
Oh, I know. It's not that I want to get back with her. It's just kind of a screwed up situation. You know, I mean...
You wish you could enlighten your brother?
Well, he's enlightened. He totally knows. He's like, look, it's a piece. You know? I mean, and I'm going to go over there, you know? It's a bed to sleep in, and that's the way he is. It's kind of...
You should write this down, though. This is going to make a great book.
Pulp novel, certainly.
A pulp novel?
Sure.
Kind of like Pulp Fiction? Is that where you got that from?
Well, pulp novel's just a genre term.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, really
what's his
Cheap,
name?
easily disposable.
Louis L'Amour, pulp.
Insignificant.
Mick, or what's his name? Mickey Spillane, pulp.
Okay, I'll write it down.
Style over substance.
Yeah.
So basically, I've just decided that when we go to class, I'm polite and all, but like when we have a break in our class, and well, she smokes. I don't smoke, but I used to smoke with her just because we could, and now I don't go on a break with her, and like the first time we went back to class, everything was cool, and then she went on a break, and I didn't go with her, and she came back, and she was all mad, and she like turned and sat like away from me.
Let her turn her back to you. Let her be upset. Don't waste your time, please.
Okay.
Yeah, if she wants to be over something that petty, there's a corner, babe. Go enjoy it.
Tell me you're not going to study together anymore.
Well, we aren't studying together anymore. It's kind of.
Tell us you're not going to study again, ever.
Will not study with her ever again.
Promise?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, it's those study dates when you look up from using the yellow highlighter and she's there in, like, the silk pajamas, you know.
How'd you know? She did that. I swear.
You know, this sounds a remarkable amount like, shut up. Anyway, a caller before talking about how somebody gets satisfaction by manipulating those around him. And it sounds to me like perhaps this woman can't feel good about herself unless she's in control of the people around her.
Yeah, but
just a theory.
But we're brothers. I mean, is that not just...
But that makes it all the more intriguing, don't you see?
Oh, God.
See, from the perspective of a woman, you'd be like, well...
I can control them both.
Well, not only can you control them both, but it's just those little details like, I wonder where he learned that trick.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, Melissa, we're learning a little about you.
She offers very useful insights to the female mind. I, on the other hand, go food, warmth, sex.
Ride my bike.
Motorcycle on occasion, pinball, good beer. That's it. Secrets to manliness.
Oh, there you go.
A good pair of boots.
Well, see, this is why it works well with both a man and a woman on the show.
Ugh.
Right? So, like in class, do I continue what I'm doing, just kind of, you know, be polite in class, but then say, look, you know, we can't.
I would.
If she's polite to you, you know, meet kindness with kindness. If she starts to become arrogant or anything, just try to turn away from it, honestly, because a lot of times, whenever you have somebody feeding negative energy into you, whenever you turn it back against them, you're giving them attention, you're giving them the reinforcement they're looking for. A lot of times, animals and people don't differentiate between positive and negative reinforcement. If she's nasty to you, I say ignore her as long as you can. If she starts to get belligerent, never let anybody walk over yourself. Always stand up for yourself, but don't feed into what she wants to.
Well, she doesn't try to walk over me. She calls me a butthead. She bought me this little jar of butthead pills, and she said, "You need to take these." She tries to do it in this little cute, manipulative way.
I would just blow her off. Truly. Go to class.
Leave class.
Leave class.
Oh, and we go home the same way.
Well, if she says something to you about, hey, do you want to study together? Say, no, I've got somebody else I'm studying with. Gotta go.
Well, I wouldn't even worry about it. I would just be like, sorry, can't do it. Or be honest, I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you both for your help.
Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Well, we're cold, and
I'm sure y'all are colder.
it's 1:31, and
Oh, I thought you were saying Burkhold. I'm sitting there. Who's Burkhold? Hey, whatever. My nose and my ears are stoppy.
Stuffy?
Stoppy. Oh, this is gonna be a.
Stuffy.
Like this?
Yes.
Every time you guys do
It's a little chillier.
It's extraordinarily cold.
I was like, I don't know how you guys
I mean,
do it.
it's usually just extremely cold, but tonight there's like frost forming.
Yes.
If it's like this next week, I'll wear thermal underwear. Oh yeah, that's what I'm always threatening to do. I've written some stuff for it. We're gonna do a recreation, of my bedroom from when I was like 16, and just have a bunch of girlfriends over, pajama, pizza guys, the pizza guys. I'll tell you what Shelley said to me today about her. Come in, no shirt. That'd be sexy, so that'd be so perfect. It'd be great.
You should have. Those are actually pretty cool.
Those are actually pretty cool.
Okay. Look.
It's the implication is that in the past that hasn't been cool.
I'm not real wild about the frogs. The ones that sold the kiss.
My platform? He is on my platform. You're right. I've got
I just have she likes them. I guess they're very big kind of a Martian kind of. Sure.
Sorry. Turn out.
All right, this is on the assumption that this is on the assumption that this signal is actually going out. Forgive me, I'm not feeling at my best tonight. All right, what we'll do at this point is go ahead and switch things over to the show that you either love or hate. And that is Sex and Dice. Sex and Dice is a time of the night when I allow people to call up and talk about their sexual adventures, and ask that people call up and share those things that go above and beyond the missionary style with the lights off. I mean, if you want to get kinky and turn those lights on every now and then, that's fine with me. Again, you know, it's really difficult, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that I've been doing Catharsis for so long now, but it's quite difficult to not react immediately and say, you know, want to help somebody with some sort of insight or some questions or something. And I guess in a way I don't mind doing that, because I feel very, very natural. Well, it comes to me naturally, and I feel very at ease at doing it. But at the same time, really, the whole point of Sex and Ice is it allows you the opportunity to be exhibitionist. If you call, if you decide not to call, then it allows you the opportunity to be a voyeur. And this is about as safe a sex as you're ever going to find. Let me be upfront about that. Anyway, what I'd like to do is just kind of like, especially since I'm not feeling all that well, to not ask as many questions and not give as much feedback. God knows I'll probably end up doing it anyway, but please, if you have some good stories to tell, this is what this time is for. And again, all I ask is that it not be the typical bland missionary style with the lights on once every 2 months or whatever, you know, your parents told you was acceptable. All right, let me type up the characters and I'll get things started here pretty quick. I'll go ahead and see if I can talk to some people on the air without getting too much feedback. Hi, can you hear me? No, don't think so. Hold on. Stay right there. Hello? Hello? No, I'm afraid that's not going to work. Oh well. You get to put up with this instead.
There's two chairs in there, right? Can I like sit off to the side or something?
Let me state right now that the comment here at the bottom, all the other little dirty habits you should probably be ashamed of. If you've seen the show before, you know I'm joking. So I don't want some tight ass to call up and start bitching me out because you don't have a sense of humor. If you don't have a sense of humor, fuck off. And yes, I have an attitude. Because I'm allowed an attitude. I can. That's right. I choose to have an attitude sometime. If you don't, then don't bother me with your inadequacies. Go ahead and take this one. Did I?
Huh?
Did I do what?
Oh, nothing.
Oh. Could you do me one flavor?
Sure.
Turn the volume down on there just a hair. It'll be the far knob on the. This is my right. Just down. Well, I'm afraid of that hissing is going to cause some sort of feedback.
That's the tone.
Thank you. And give me a couple of seconds and I'll get things squared away here with late Orgio phone wire. And yes, I do screen rather heavily on this show, so as to not encourage pranksters to think that this is our free time to reign. Sex and Ice has never been, and it never will be, a time to call up and be crude or obscene or vulgar or anything. This is we try to talk about all this stuff on a fairly humorous level, but still not in any degrading or trashy fashion. If you feel the need for that, then you know that's why Hustler's around. Hello. I'm gonna get in trouble for this question, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering if maybe you could like share some of the same opinions about the BBS women as I've found. I'm not going to say my handle, particularly on some of the more local chat boards, but mainly I'm just talking about, just are they all as psycho as they appear to be? And, I'm wondering if you found the same.
They are not all as psycho. There are actually even some decent guys out there. But wow. See, I got my ass reamed because I made a comment about 90% of the BBS chicks and guys that I knew were just total angry, clueless losers. And, usually, this is just a side note, like, a lot of these angry individuals are like, I'm bisexual, or the guy's going, I'm straight, no, really, I'm very straight.
Yes, I know the type.
And there's one person on After Hours in particular I could say that about in particular. He, anyway. And I basically just kind of laid my cards on the table. I got my ass reamed for it. I'll tell you what, instead of dwelling on the socially retarded slag, what's the word I'm looking for? Slag. Instead of dwelling on the socially retarded slag that inhabits most of the BBSs in the universe, I can say honestly, there's some really, really good quality people out there, and there are actually some very beautiful women.
All right.
One of the most worthless boards I've seen in town is Actual Reality. And,
I'd agree.
But there's a woman on there. There's a woman on there who I think she's still on there, who is just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. She is a delight to talk to. She could be a model any day of the week. And she has the same birthday as I do. And I'm not going to say who it is.
Bonus.
Huh?
Bonus.
No, it's not Bonus.
Oh.
Never heard of Bonus. But anyway, I will let you talk about your opinion of BBS Geeks and Freaks.
Well, I mean, they basically fall into 3 or so categories. There's the 15-year-olds, there's the fake accounts, and then there's the sincere, the genuine article. And what's there to say? I mean, 90% of the time you get the former of the two groups, and when you finally find someone that you think is the real thing, it turns out that they have some kind of mental problem or something. And I was just wondering if you'd found the same thing to be true.
Typically, you talk about the younger ones and such, and I typically distance myself from the younger ones. There have been exceptions, but really I don't have much in common with somebody who thinks that hanging out at the mall is cool, or that KNAC is cool, or things like that. So I really don't. I don't know. I guess I don't participate in the same level of people as you do.
Well, thanks for your opinion.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
KNAC. Hello? Yep. Okay. What's your real name? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. She's gone. Yes, they are gone. Sorry. Okie doke. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Hello? What's up? No, you're not. Is this a Catharsis thing, or is this Sex and Ice? Oh my God, I forgot to change the name.
Oh, I thought you saw that.
Oh shit. No,
was I
this
playing
isn't
that?
Catharsis anymore. Hold on a second, I gotta change some stuff, okay?
Oh shit! I meant to tell you. I thought you saw it. I thought you.
No, I'm just really sluggish right now. Which will be great riding home.
Next time I tell you, man, I didn't. I thought you knew.
That's alright. Oops. Whew. All right, and we can talk about some of the other more strenuous aspects of being a blonde. Who's probably going to dope himself up on Actifed as soon as he gets home. And hey, maybe take that little extra vodka to go with it. Hello. Yep. You can ask. School, church, that's a really Catharsis question. Okay? Yeah. Hello? No? No, I can't.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
What exactly are you talking about tonight?
Well, actually I'm trying to do as little talking as possible. I'm not really feeling up to speed tonight. I try to use this time as an open forum for people to call up and talk about their sexuality or their sexual adventures or sexual opinions.
Are you serious?
Am I what?
Are you serious? Because tonight I made a porno. A home porno. You know those, you get the camcorder and the tripod.
Oh, that's great. This is exactly what this is for.
Yeah, and I was like really embarrassed about it. And I don't know even if the person I did it with, he went back home.
Oh, you didn't know this person?
Yes, I do. I've known him for a while. And,
okay. Is he your lover or boyfriend? Or?
He's my lover, boyfriend.
Okay. And did he talk you into it? Or tell us about the background of it.
Well, he's Asian and half Hispanic and half Middle Eastern. And we've gone out for a while. And we have this tremendous sex. The best sex I've had in my life. I can't believe I'm saying this.
I mean, let's talk proportion here, babe. I mean, what are we talking about?
Like hours and hours, kinky everywhere. It's like movies, like 9.5 weeks. Like throw ourselves on the floor everywhere you can think of. Glow in the dark, paints and love potion syrup and lick it off. I can't believe I'm saying this. And so we made a home porno today, and but in a way I was very shy and stuff because I'm very self-conscious about my body.
So it's just the two of you?
Yeah.
The porno, okay.
Yeah.
And you're not doing this to distribute and make money off?
No, of course not. No.
The reason I ask that is because if you like erotica and you go to places like Dreamers or any place that sells adult tapes, you will find it's been the trend for the last year or so, homemade pornos. And I've never watched one. They look so cheesy. But that's really been the big rave in the adult industry.
Uh-huh.
So I was wondering if you were trying to do something like that.
Oh, no. I'm very self-conscious about... I mean, it's not like I'm 300 pounds. I'm 5 feet tall and 94 pounds. And...
That's definitely not like 300 pounds.
No. But my breasts are not 36 double D,
That's good.
So...
You know, when they get to the double D stage, they're kind of shaped like udders. There's just kind of this kind of erotic quality that's lost when you can make a cock taco and have intercourse with a woman at the same time. I don't know, just doesn't do it for me.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way because I think men. I mean, you go down 6th Street and it's such a sex market out there, and it's you have these girls with huge breasts. I just feel totally self-conscious.
Huge silicone. No. Hey, listen, I appreciate a gorgeous pair of breasts. I don't care what size they are. As long as they're shaped nicely and are sensitive if I'm going to be involved with the person. But back to your porno. Tell us what you did in it.
Well,
Tell us what you didn't do in it.
It started just acting goofy and taking our clothes off. And
That's pretty goofy.
Yeah, we're just laughing, I guess partially because of hysteria. And then he's on top of me, so you see his butt up going up in the air and stuff. Exactly.
Cool.
And then I got on top, and I have this really cool tattoo on my
See
back.
your butt going up and down?
Right, which I'm not going to mention because a lot of people will know who I am if I mention that tattoo I have on my back.
As if, okay, you just told her you're 5'3", you weigh 94 pounds, and you have a tattoo on your ass.
And I'm dating an Asian guy, right?
That's right.
So half of Boston already knows who it is.
That narrows it down to only, 3,000 or 4,000 women that are up this time of night in Austin. Yeah, right. Anyway.
But basically, we saw the porno afterwards, and then he got excited again, and so we did it again on the floor, and just, my back was pushing, and we're just going crazy. We've done it everywhere, in the shower, and it's like...
Where's the kinkiest place you've played hide the salami?
The kinkiest place?
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
I mean, not as an orifice on your body, but in location.
Well, it wasn't with the person I'm with right now, but it was in a Greyhound bus on a trip back from, I'm not going to mention because then they'll know who I am, from south of the border there.
Okay.
So, but that was I guess the kinkiest place.
Well, that's great.
Though I wanted to do it in a cemetery, but everybody freaks out. So, yeah.
Oh well, you can find out if you're good enough to wake the dead.
Well, the person I'm with right now says I should go to an escort service or something because I'm pretty good, that I could probably charge $1,000 a night.
Would he feel secure in your doing that? I mean, would you?
No, he just says I'm probably playing around, but he just probably says it because he we do it for hours, 6, 8 hours, whatever.
This man's very special, I can tell. Tell me, does he dip his wanker in a bottle of Numzit or something?
No, he'll come several times, but not real quick, just several times throughout the night.
I see.
So will I too.
That's great.
I think so too. Well, do you have any other...
From a guy's point of view, for whatever it's worth, it's really great being with a woman who's orgasmic because I've been with women who are... I'm serious, this has happened to me. She starts the deep breathing, she goes, oh God, I'm about to come. And then she'll go frigid, literally tense up and go, I can't do it. Why not? Because it feels too good. Okay, I'm done. I'm wiping it off. I'm gonna go watch some TV. If you're gonna be that stupid, don't waste my time.
Well, no, I'm not saying that depends on the person, but because I've like come to doing that, you know, and then it takes me a while. But it's my hyperventilating. I just get too excited. But I think it's like the person I was with before this. Okay, I've been with 3 people in my life. Is like the person I was with before the person I'm with right now. He was so sorry. It was pathetic. It was like, okay, call him the Minuteman. All right, the alarm would go off at 6. By 6:05, he'd be done. And I'm like, this is like foreplay and everything cramped up together. And it was so I never really had like that many orgasms unless I masturbated, you know, which was quite often.
I see.
Yeah. But
You're a liberated woman. I can tell just from talking to you. Yes. All right. Well, hey, listen. Thanks for your call.
Sure.
Is there anything else you wanted to tack on?
no, that's about it.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Don't sleep in the wet spot. That is if you even did it on the bed in the first place, which I doubt you did. Hello. What's up? Okay, well, go to bed then. Hello. Hello. What's up? You tell me. Hello. What's up? Okay. Do you want me? Let me put you on the air. Okay. Talk to me.
Well, it's very strange because I've always been straight and I've been with very many men. But
Speak up, please.
you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Okay. But she is gay, and it's like I have all these dreams about her. It's so strange.
And they're erotic dreams.
Right.
And you can't see yourself ever doing anything like that.
I don't know. It's really strange because I don't think about that about any other girl.
Okay.
Ever.
Do you have any kind of feelings for her when you're not asleep?
Well, we're close as in friends. That's the strange thing. But see, I just feel strange because when I'm around her, I think about that I've had these dreams, but then, you know, I don't really feel anything, I guess.
Well, that's interesting. Certainly your subconscious is telling you something, but I can tell you that I have, in the past, had erotic dreams about a friend of mine, and she's quite gay, and I never figured it out because I never felt like I had any sort of attraction to her, but I still had these dreams.
How long did you have these dreams?
I had about 3 or 4 of them over the span of a year or two.
Well, that's not that many.
Well, when you take into consideration, I rarely ever have repetitive dreams. I have one repetitive nightmare, one repetitive, what's the word I'm looking for? Lucid dream. And then I had, so it's very rare that I ever have a repetitive dream, and she managed to show up several times.
Well, I've had reoccurring dreams all my life.
Okay.
I mean, I dream a lot every night. I have nightmares, everything, the whole bit.
The dreams themselves, are they relatively positive, or do you wake up in a panic?
They're positive, but when I wake up, I'm just kind of like, And then another strange thing is I'm still having dreams about, well, nightmares about my grandfather who's died years ago when I was really young.
Really?
Well, that's like a different story. I was molested, but...
And he's the one that did it?
Uh-huh. Along with many others. Relatives.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an analyst. This sounds to me like something, not necessarily the situation with the woman, but having
Well, it's not like
dreams.
taking my life away. It's not like I can't do anything because of this or something.
But still, that's the kind of thing I never want to know. If you've gone through that, I hate to think that you're going through your life without some sort of support professionally. That's certainly that's very.
I'm still having an active sex life. That's the thing. I mean, I'm with someone right now. We're not. Well, it's a very strange situation. We're not going out as in boyfriend girlfriend. We're just. I have feelings for him, but he doesn't feel the same way. So.
I see.
Which is very awkward because he's still. I mean, he basically is scum, and I know it because he's still sleeping with me, and he knows all this. But
Why are you with him then?
I have no idea.
Okay. At least you admit it. I ask that question a lot, and unfortunately, mostly it's women, and they're like, "Well, I think he'll grow up. I think he'll change."
No, I know he won't.
Good for you. Back to your girlfriend situation. I don't think it sounds, at least to me, it does not sound terribly abnormal. I give, as a general rule of thumb, if the opportunity ever presents itself and you're curious, I encourage people to experiment. You're young, you're attractive, it's not like it's wrong or anything. Try it. If you like it, great. Make it a part of your life. If you
But
don't,
she's an old friend of mine, so like if things turn strange, then that would just devastate me.
well, I'm just saying in general. If you're ever curious, find out if you like it or not. And seriously, don't let anybody tell you it's wrong.
Yeah, one of my sisters, she told me about this experience she had with this woman. But she had a boyfriend at that time, and he was not too happy about it.
Oh, he was probably just scared that she was better than he was.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you like your haircut?
Not as much as I thought I would. It feels great. It really does. But I don't like the front. I wish it would at least stand up.
Yeah, it's different.
I take it you've watched the show before then.
Actually, just once before.
I see. Well, the good part is it's still growing. It'll come back out. At the very least, I should have shaved my temples on the back. So, oh well.
Just shave the whole thing off, then. Why don't you?
No. I have these really evil lumps on the back of my head.
Oh, really?
I was beaten with a Louisville Slugger when I was a child or something.
Okay, well, you have a good night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Good night. If she's out there, I ran into a woman tonight at 7-Eleven who basically just said she had talked to me before on Catharsis and didn't really get a chance to talk to her. She said she was going to be at work tonight. I'm going on the out chance that she's off work and she's at home watching us. I didn't ask you your name. I didn't ask you anything about what you called about because I felt that you had the right to preserve your anonymity. And if for some reason you thought that I was being rude or somewhat distant or cold, please, I apologize. That's not what I set out to do by any means. And I appreciate appreciate the fact you actually took the time to acknowledge that I was the person you talked to before. Anyhow, if you're out there, if I run into you at the 7-Eleven again, feel free to introduce yourself to me. I still will probably not introduce myself to you too much because again, that anonymity thing. But I didn't want you to think that I was being rude. Anyway, I've got to change the lighting and I'll be right back. Actually, I'm 30. How you doing, Paul?
Cool, man. Just chilling. Watching the show. It's neat, man. I like this.
It's a very unique movie.
Melissa said on sex last few seconds, doesn't she?
No, she won't touch it. She won't. She doesn't mind me doing it, but she doesn't want to be associated with it.
Oh, really?
Hello? Hello? What's up?
Do about it. Hello?
Yeah, what kind of problem?
Well, I've been living with this girl, and I've just moved down from Dallas.
Now, hold on. You do realize this has to do with sex and not like a personal thing, right?
Right. It's a...
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Huh?
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, see, I moved up here to Austin, and I'm living with my girlfriend, and there's another friend of mine, or not friend of hers. He's a gay friend of ours that lives in our apartment together. We all share rent, and I've been dating her, my girlfriend, for about 2 months now, and I've never been around like a gay male before, and I've been starting to have these feelings towards him. I really don't know what to do, and he keeps like. Whenever she's out, he like flirts with me and kind of touches me certain ways and like leans up against me, like when I'm sometimes leaning over a different way or something, and it just really turns me on, and I'm just kind of scared of these feelings. I don't know what I was never had them before, and I don't know if I should act on them or what I should do.
What do you want to do?
I don't want to do that to my girlfriend, but I do have these strong feelings towards this guy.
Have you talked to your girlfriend about this?
No, I haven't. I haven't talked to anybody about this.
Well, perhaps... Okay, this is getting into an advice thing, and that's a catharsis topic. And
I know.
Huh?
Huh?
I said this is definitely a catharsis topic. This is for voyeurism. This is for exhibitionism. To address your situation, I would, first off, I would say maybe you should call back during catharsis. Second off, I would say perhaps you should consider communicating with this guy. If you're uncomfortable with it, even though you're attracted to it, you know it's the wrong thing, I would suggest that you be upfront with him. Tell him he cannot compromise, or you cannot compromise your situation with your girlfriend. And you won't allow him to tempt you into that compromise.
I see. Okay, well, I have a second.
Hello? It's going. What's up? Okay, that's nice. Hello? What? Hello? Yeah. Okay, let's recap. I know it's been a couple of weeks, and most guys have the IQ of a mousetrap. Number one, I say hello. When you hear me say hello, you respond in you give something to the effect of hello in return. At that point, you start to explain your little sexual misadventure that you would like to share with all of Austin. And thirdly, you don't make demands to me. You must speak coherently. You must speak promptly. At least 1/3 of your sentence, let's go. At least 2/3 of your sentence cannot contain the phrase, Kim, I know you chastised me because I said guys are stupid, but you don't sit in this chair. You don't listen to them on this phone. I would like to. I don't want to seem like what's the word? I just want to make sure I'm an equal opportunity sexist here. 90% of the BBS women I've seen are fugly. 90% of the guys who call this show are dumb. Put me on the line, man. I'll go one step further, and 90% of the BBS guys are fugly as well. So, Kim, put your poison pen back. You know my account, 61799. I'm sure I'll hear you griping in just a few hours. Sorry. But it needs to be said. Hello. Hello. Hello to you too. What's up? Are you? No, it's not okay. No, it's not the old Biddy show. Christ, do I look like old Biddy? Hello? What's up? Okie doke. Oh, please. I just have to hear this again.
I said that you're the most gorgeous thing that ever walked this earth.
You don't get out of town much, do you?
Well, considering the fact I'm not from Texas, but...
Where are you from?
Out of Kentucky.
Huh?
Kentucky.
You escaped from Kentucky. That's great.
Well, anyway, I like your show, and I think you all have some really good subjects going. Oops, sorry about that. One thing I wanted to talk about was, how do you feel about fetishes? I mean, you know...
About what?
Fetishes.
How do I feel about them?
Yeah.
Well, a fetish is actually defined as... How do I explain this? I believe the psychological explanation of a fetish is that something must have something present or something going on in order for them to achieve sexual arousal. It's a much stronger term than a preference.
Mm-hmm.
It's if a guy has a panty fetish, he has to be wearing a pair of panties or sucking on a pair of panties for him to even become aroused. I have no fetishes, I'm glad to say.
Good. You don't look like you would have any.
Well, thanks.
You look like you would be, very erotic.
I see.
Okay. But,
Are we erotic, babe?
Yes! No, I just wanted to say that I do watch you all the time, and I think you're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
I can barely hear you.
I said, I think you're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
So, everybody have a good night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Gorgeous. Hello. What's up? Okay. Go ahead.
Hi. When I first moved to Texas, which was about a year and a half ago, I ended up getting a job. I'm not going to say where. And I met this woman there, and for some reason, I didn't plan it to happen. I don't know if she did, but we just totally got interested in each other, and we ended up going out one evening, and we went back to my apartment, and totally unexpected, I was totally judged her character wrong.
Uh-oh.
Which was for the best, though, because...
She had a dick?
No.
Oh.
No, thank God.
Then you didn't fuck up too badly, mister.
No. As a matter of fact, no. But, she was one of the most overpowering people that I had ever met.
Dominatrix?
Not to the point of whips and chains, but very forceful, very demanding, which was a complete turn-on to me.
Really?
Yeah, and this was the first experience I'd ever had with that, so it was surprising to me too. But
how interesting. No, I'm just curious. Outside of the bedroom, did she have a very mousy type of personality?
Yes, actually.
Okay. The reason I ask that is because I know a woman who has a very aggressive. She's an ex-lover, a very aggressive, boisterous personality, but in bed, she was totally placid, totally passive.
Huh.
Which, and I've just come to find that the mousy ones are the real aggressive ones, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's the way she was. She was a real petite and soft-spoken out in front of everybody. But once we got in private, she was just totally in control, and I was happy letting her be in control.
And have your relations since then been like that?
Actually, things got complicated differently, so we stopped seeing each other a few months ago.
I see.
But I've talked to her a couple times since then, and I tried connecting with her again, but she's involved with somebody else, so that didn't work out. But she just showed me and taught me different things that I'd never done before that were just incredible.
Can you give us examples?
Well, let me think. We went out one evening, just went down to 6th Street, and this was like right after I moved down here, so she was showing me, what people do, 6th Street and all that stuff.
Drink and meet.
Yeah, pretty much.
And fuck.
Pretty much. And when we came back home after the evening was over, she had 2 too much to drink, basically. And she somehow convinced me to try to put on the dress that she was wearing. Didn't fit, but anyways, she tried to have me put on her bra, which fit, and she just totally, for some reason, that drove her crazy.
Huh.
And we ended up just trying different positions, and there was...
Was it a push-up or just a regular lacy kind of thing?
It was padded.
Padded.
Yeah. But it was just, we did it so many different ways, and they were all, I loved every one of them.
Well, that's great.
So
that is great.
And that's pretty much all I wanted to share.
All right.
Like your show, like your new haircut.
I don't, but that's okay.
Oh, I liked your old hair better, but there's nothing wrong with what you had.
Okay.
And I liked the first call that you had tonight, too, with the girl.
Which one about the...
The porno movie.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Good way to start the show. So you have a good night.
Take care.
All right.
Good night. Hello. Yeah. Right.
And well, I barely moved here a while ago, and like where I come from, it's like the girls hit you up, and like you get down or whatever like that. And like here, I don't know, it's like I want to get down with some of these girls here, right? But like it's weird because it's like they don't show it or something, and like I don't know, it's like weird, like I don't know how to approach it or something.
Where are you
like that
from?
here. From El Paso. And like over there, it's like the girls hit you up and stuff. They straight out show you,
I can say that the people in El Paso tend to be, the kids at least, are a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
Than in this part. Things are a little bit laid back here.
Yeah. So what do you mean more laid back? Like
well, okay. I've noticed in El Paso, the girls like to show off.
Yeah.
And I mean show off.
Yeah, they're more stuck up over there.
I mean, you can read the cottage cheese on their ass from the jeans that they wear in El Paso.
Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, like they're
I once found a busload of blind people reading Braille on some chick's ass one day. It was no. In all seriousness,
yeah.
As far as I don't know, I think if you look around, you'll find somebody a woman who's like that. Trust me. I see them all the time running Town Lake or
I'm sure I can. It's just that it's weird because like over there, it's like they totally go up to you and stuff like that, and here it's like I'm sure they do want to hit it up or whatever. It's just that it's like the situation is like, damn, how do I do it, man? I don't know. It's weird. It's like I know I can, but I don't know. It's like I'm used to them going up to me and stuff. So like here, it's like I don't know.
I think that maybe Austin's a pretty open town, pretty liberal town.
Yeah.
But I think there's certain things that still are more the standard than anything else. And I think, not just because it's Austin, I think this is true for the most part across this country, is that the male really has to be the aggressor.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. I just gotta get used to that part of it because I'm used to being like the one that's being hit up on. So. But
Poor
I
thing.
guess I have to be the aggressor, man. That's cool. So here it's probably even not as hard as I think it is, I guess.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man.
Get used to hearing the word no. Get even more used to hearing the words hell no. I did.
Oh, all right, man.
Take care.
Yeah, that's some good advice, man. All right, I just wanted to know, because I'm used to like that other kind of mentality thing. So.
Right.
I don't know. Well, take it easy, man.
Okay.
All right.
You ever been to El Paso? It's hot. No, it's fine. The city is just hotter than hell in the day, and at nighttime it is chilly. It is just downright cold.
Kind of like LA then.
It is. I don't remember LA ever getting that cold.
Well, LA was like during the day it was hot, and then at night, because in the morning it's kind of cool.
Right.
The day it was warm, and then at night it was just you need a jacket. It got chilly, really cold. Well, to me it did. At least to Tucson and stuff.
Yeah, in Tucson it probably gets chilly.
Yeah, it does get beautiful.
It's probably the same as El Paso, Tucson. Except for Tucson's kind of up there, isn't it?
I think so. It is.
Hello. What's up? Well, I'll tell you what. You can talk to me, but I really don't know if I can tell you much about it.
I mean,
I know there's a lot of women out there that probably enjoy the B&D and S&M, but where do you find them?
Well, ooh.
That's a good question.
This, I'm going to be, oh goodness. I'm kind of afraid to touch this one because I don't want to mislead you or anything, but
yeah,
I have seen ads, okay, the Chronicle's a very obvious place. Under Variations, no less. I have seen on the computer places like Austin Chat Channel. Also, there's, you know what, I meant to buy some of these and bring them just to show people. Trust me, they're not my cup of tea. Like Texas Swinger Connection, or some of the local swinger magazines around here. I think you can find what you're looking for, but outside of the Chronicle and the swinger magazines and the bulletin boards, I don't really know what to tell you. There might be a leather club here in town. I don't know.
I know I've met women in the past that enjoyed that, but
Do you like being the master or the slave?
I'm switchable.
You're switchable.
Either way, yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy either way. And I know there's women out there. It's hard to find. Seems like some of the articles or papers I read, that seems like they always want a fee. You know, sounds like prostitution in a way, but they want to charge you a fee to come out or whatever.
Huh.
I just think there should be some women out there, but like I said, they're hard to find.
I don't know that they're hard to find. It's just you have to look in the right places.
Yeah. You said
Have you looked through the Chronicle?
You said something about Dreamers earlier. What's Dreamers?
Dreamers is the local porno store in town.
Oh, really?
There's one on 35 and there's one on North Lamar.
Oh, okay. I'd like to hear from some women in Austin that enjoy B&D and S&M if they call in.
Have you tried the Chronicle?
I haven't tried that, no.
Look in the back of the Chronicle. There'll be a new one out this Thursday. They're all over the place. I mean, all over the place. They're free. Pick one up. Look in the back under the personals, a section called Variations. You may find the mistress of your dreams in the pages.
All right.
Cool?
Thank you.
Take care. Hello. Quit laughing. Go to bed. Hello. What's up? Uh-huh.
At other places?
Are the girls different in Austin than they are in other places?
Yeah.
No.
Then why can't I find a date here?
Well, you're new in town, right?
Yeah, I've been here for about a month.
Okay. Don't you think that that's a little natural? You come, what, California, 4 or 5 states away. You don't know a single person in town, or you don't know very many people, and it's going to be hard. Do you go to school?
Yeah, I go to UT. I've met a lot of girls and...
Dare I go out on a branch? I have seen 1 or 2 girls at UT. I think there are a few in school this semester.
Well, I don't know. I'm having a tough time.
Oh, hey, once you get settled in, you'll do all right.
All right, Peckerwood.
Okay. Hello. Hello. What's up? Who? Which one? Do I know you? Oh, okay. Because I have a very dear friend of mine with your name, and I don't know if I would want her watching this or not. I see. Hold on. So, what is on your mind?
What's on my mind?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I was just thinking about that guy that was talking about he can't find any chicks. You know, poor guy.
Poor guy, my ass.
Yeah, really.
It was a prank call.
But you know, I mean, there's plenty of chicks out there, and I'm one of them.
Ooh, how old are you, chick?
35.
35.
Yeah. And I'm not bad. You know, so I just thought that it was kind of funny that he was saying that he couldn't find chicks.
It was bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Well, basically bullshit.
Well, tell me, you're 35. You've got a few years under your belt. What's the most kinky thing you've ever done?
Menage a trois.
Really? 2 guys or another woman?
A woman and a man.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Cool. You can tell us more. I mean, I'm not going to hang up on you. Hello? You gotta quit smoking, dear.
No, I'm joking. I cough drop.
They're supposed to be sucked on, dear. Don't inhale the cough drop. It says that on the box.
I know, it says it on the thing.
Do not inhale. Ooh.
There, it's out.
Oh, excuse me. Boy. All right. So anyway.
Anyway,
So okay, on this menage a trois thing, were you like, was it a sandwich kind of thing, or were you actually involved with both of them?
yeah, I was involved with, yeah.
Okay, that's great.
It was fun. Yeah, I mean, you know, we both. Well, it was his birthday, and it was his birthday present to him.
Well, that's great.
And
Was he your boyfriend or was it your girlfriend's?
no, it was my girlfriend. Her name was Champagne. We
Okay.
danced together, and
Are you a dancer?
I used to be. I'm not anymore.
I see.
But we, you know, we got down with her old man, and it's pretty nice. We had a good time. We all, you know, we had a good time. So, and she asked me again, and I said no the second time. So, because I didn't feel right about it the second time, I thought, you know, oh God.
Why not?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. Why I didn't.
Was this recently or?
Oh no, this was about 5 years ago.
I see.
So, but I thought I'd call up and tell you about it.
Well, great.
So, whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with us?
Yeah. Hey, you know, life's a bitch and then you marry one.
I couldn't hear you. What?
I said life's a bitch and then you marry one. Now I'm going through a divorce and shit, so I'm just being a bitch, so. Oh well.
What keeps you up this late?
What keeps me up this late?
Mm-hmm.
Watching people like you. But you're neat. I really like
Do you like my bad haircut?
Yeah.
My
yeah.
goofy.
Well, you know, hey. I'd hump you.
Did
in
she?
a hair date.
Wait, what did you just say?
I said I'd hump you in a hair date.
You would dump me on a hair date.
I said I'd hump you on a hair date.
Oh, okay. I can live with that.
Oh, you can live with that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna hang up on me?
No. Do you want me to?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't want you to.
All right. Well. Now I'm going to.
Well, that's
Well.
a deep subject. Wah, 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 wah.
Please don't say that. My ex-girlfriend used to say that. It brings back lots of memories.
Oh, yeah. And remember, my name's Sherry.
Yes, I know the name very well.
Yeah. Sherry Lynn, actually.
Can't do that. Don't give me your last name.
That's not my last name. That's
Oh.
my middle name.
Okay. Well.
So,
Okay.
you know.
Well, Sherry Lynn, I do need to move to another call.
Okay.
But you made me moist, and that's good. I feel
I
very
made
moist.
you moist.
I'm moist.
Ooh.
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 Anyway,
Ooh, I moved.
have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Hello. Hello. What's up? Talk to me.
I couldn't sleep, and actually I've never watched the show before, but I thought I might as well call it. I'm in a human sex class, and today people were talking and saying, like, you know, their relationships, and they don't know how to go past the basic, you know, stuff, and so I just decided I might as well say something that I do that kind of got me started. I mean, nothing big, but one of the, I don't know, just something to say. But I'm not into bondage or anything like that. But one time, my ex-boyfriend, actually, we actually just met, and it was kind of, you know, that kind of, I don't know, excited things a little bit. But being like tied up, not tied or anything, but just loose, you know, everything where you can't get out of it. I mean, if you know, whatever. And and I've heard of that before. I've heard of alcohol before. I mean, like, you know, drinking alcohol. And you know how, like, rubbing alcohol, you can, you know, like, rub it on your back or something and blow on it, and, like, gives you goosebumps. You know what I'm talking about?
I've had a very difficult time breathing on my back, but that's okay.
Well, somebody else blew on it or do it anywhere in your arm or whatever. But anyway, and he just poured it was actually Goldschlager, and it just, you know, kind of rubbed it all over, and then started just blowing. And I mean, it drives, for guys even too. I never did it to him, but because he couldn't stand it, makes you crazy. And especially, I mean, you know, even like on your inner thighs and stuff like that, just, it makes you crazy. And I mean, you can't do anything because, you know, you can't move, and it's just that feeling of, seduction.
Well, you said you're not into bondage or anything, and I'll tell you, what you just described is a form of bondage.
It is a form of bondage,
And
but I mean, like,
it's what's called light bondage, and I'll tell you what, that's about as far as I'll ever go.
yeah, I mean,
But it is fun. It's good for a change.
yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it opened my mind a lot because I never did stuff like that. And so with guys I'm with now, you know, if they think I'm weird or not, usually they end up liking it. So it's fun. I like doing it.
That's a real good point. Just because they may think you're weird, chances are they'll like it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's true.
And why not try? I mean, if you know, you like it, and I like it, so if they don't like it, then more than likely I don't like being with them anyway. I mean, not just that, but that type of stuff, you know.
I'll go one step further than that, and I'll say that, okay, you perceive yourself as being a sexually open person. You're willing to try things even if, you know, you've been told all your life you shouldn't. And you get with somebody who's very frigid, very afraid of things. I think it says so much about their personality. Not just the way they are in bed, but the way they approach their life.
Open-minded.
Absolutely. But
Totally.
that open-mindedness extends way beyond the bedroom.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you can tell a person by the bedroom in a way, and the open-mindedness.
Yes, I agree.
Totally. It is. It's something to think about. If someone's out there that doesn't, you know, it really, I mean, nothing's wrong with it. It just makes you feel good and makes you wake up with a smile on your face.
That's right. I was going to say something really trashy, but that's okay.
What?
Well, it had a reference to do with a glazed donut, but that's okay.
With the glazed donut.
Yeah, never mind.
Say it. I want to.
No, it's too late. The moment's passed.
It's all been done.
So, all right, well, thanks for your call.
Uh-huh.
Good night. Hello. I'm doing.
One time, I was like with my girlfriend, and we're in bed, and she decides, you know, she wants to give me a blowjob. But this time, she like runs to the medicine cabinet, and you know those Hall's Menoliptus things, like those little things. She just like shoves about 4 of them in her mouth, and I don't know what it did. It just like intensified it like 10 times.
Was her cough really that bad?
No, it wasn't her cough. I mean, it just like the menthol, the eucalyptus healing power. I don't know what it was. It intensified the feeling, just made it like real.
What it probably was is that menthol or whatever stripped your dick of about 6 layers of skin.
No.
That stuff's pretty harsh.
No, it wasn't. It's like lozenges. I mean, it's not like anything big. Anyway, I got another.
Hey, I don't want to know about your personal size.
No, I don't. Hey, you don't need to go there, buddy.
No, there is no need.
No, there isn't.
Anyway.
You fucking ass neck.
Ass Nick.
Ask me, what the hell is that? That's the new one. Please come over first.
Hello. 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 What's up?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in the living room, and it's the first time I've ever seen a show, and I'm new to Austin. So
Okay.
how does this actually work? Do I just talk to you about anything, or?
Well, I do a show earlier than this called Catharsis. That's an advice show. When my partner leaves, I switch it over to Sex and Ice, and basically it's what it says right here. You can earn a degree in accounting, business management. Anyway, seriously, I just want you to have the opportunity to call up and talk about something sexually adventurous that's been a part of your life. Or maybe a fantasy.
Fantasies like places or things, people, dogs, what? How's it work? You just basically get on the air and you tell people about how you feel about things? Or?
Not just about anything in general. I mean, this show is not for like political discussion or religious discussion. This is just strictly about sexuality. What's the kinkiest thing you've ever done?
Kinkiest thing I've ever done. Let's see. I guess it's basically being tied up and using ice or ice cream and,
Okay.
and peppermint.
What do you like having done to you in bed?
God, everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything feels good.
Have you ever had your hair pulled?
No.
Ah, you're missing out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try that next time.
Well, it's not. You can't do it to yourself. That's the catch. You can't do it have your partner do it too hard either, or else it's no fun. Well, let's see. How old were you when you first had sex?
17.
17. Okay. Those are the kind of things we talk about here.
Interesting.
Do you have a special toy?
No, I don't have any toys, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
But you would if you could.
Yeah, I think so. If I didn't have a boyfriend, I'd probably get a toy or something. But since
I
I
see.
do, it kind of, I don't know. I guess I'm one of those frigid people in bed or something because it's kind of, this is just weird. I've never talked about talked about having sex with a complete stranger, so.
Well, how old are you?
20.
20 what?
20?
20? Well, you've got a lot of years ahead of you. You've got a lot of experimenting you can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, thanks.
Sure. Hello. Okay, bring it on.
How can you condone such a... You're a fucker.
What's your point? Yes, I'm a fucker. I fuck. I have a dick. I stick at places. I fuck. Well, he's sitting there. How can you condone homosexuality? As far as my comments about homosexuality, really, in all seriousness, my basic premise is, do what is right for you. If you are happy being gay, be happy. Go forth, be normal, be content with your decision. Don't force it on me. Don't try to make me give you certain rights because of what you do in your bedroom. That's all I ask. That's really all there needs to be said. And I'm a fucker. Hello. Hello. Hi. Say that for me, please.
Okay, I fuck, therefore I am.
Good.
The other thing I was going to say before you cut me off is the last two lines, maybe you shouldn't probably be ashamed of those things.
I addressed that earlier. It's tongue in cheek.
Okay, I just tuned in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sheldon. I just tuned in and I was telling my buddy, I said, look at that. Maybe we shouldn't be ashamed of those things.
It's totally tongue-in-cheek, I promise.
Okay. And let me say it again. I fuck, therefore I am.
Now, it takes a guy to think of this, too.
Right? All right, I'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
I wish all the calls would come through that clearly.
Thank you.
Hello? Yeah. What the what? You ask your question again.
I'm just saying, like, you got this deep voice, man, and it's just weird because I'm putting on my bass on my speakers and shit, and I can, like, hear you, like, talk so loud.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, coming to sex shit, I'm saying, like, we just came back all drunk now coming from 6th Street and my birthday, and I was wondering, like, where can you get some females who can just fuck? That's it. I just want to fuck.
Well,
I can't find no girls who just want to fuck,
a prostitute comes to mind.
Huh?
A prostitute comes to mind.
Nah, it costs money, though. I don't want to, spend no money on
Well, then
girls,
go to 6th Street and find one of the little pieces of meat to hang out in the bar there.
Yeah, that's true. I know, seriously, man. We're going to hang out in this meat market,
Meat.
It used to be
Meat.
A meat market.
Meat.
All right.
Sleep it off.
All right.
God. Meat. Hello. Why? Fire.
Just because you have a television show and you come across with this very eloquent voice and as an educated person, somehow you think this gives credibility to you, but your television show is nothing more than what used to be considered a person that was just into voyeurism and perverted phone calls. You would have not too long ago have been arrested for being on the phone like this. Somehow you think it gives you a license to talk about all this perverted, weird stuff that's totally inappropriate to discuss in polite company.
Why is it inappropriate?
When you sit around and talk about these type of things...
Why is it inappropriate?
When you talk about these type of things, it totally destroys any idea of modesty. When you have this anything goes mentality, that you can talk about anything right there on public TV.
So you're saying freedom of speech shouldn't be all that free?
My point is that there's nothing that's out of bounds anymore. There's no sense of modesty or anything that there's some barriers to say, hey, wait a minute, this type of topic is inappropriate in discussion in a public vehicle like television where kids can watch. Or I am totally offended that I can turn on my TV and see this kind of trash. Now, someone might say, well, turn the channel. But the point is, the very fact that this is beaming in, it just shows that there's no sense of modesty or any barriers in society anymore where we say, there's still some things that are considered private and are not appropriate for public discussion. And what I'm saying is somehow by having a TV show, it gives credibility to someone like you that not too long ago would have been arrested for calling someone on the phone and talking to them about this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it off your chest?
Yeah, I don't...
But you're watching.
Somehow, no, I flipped around the dial, and I've seen you before, and usually I go right by, but I wanted to convey to you that, you're not going to admit this, and you're going to laugh it off when I hang up, but you've got some kind of hang-up that you get off on, that you could get some kind of pleasure out of talking about all this kind of list of, I'm sitting there looking at the screen on all these sexual behaviors. The fact that this is what you enjoy doing, you've got some sexual hang-ups, and I think you need to get some counseling. I don't mean it in a rude way.
I just think I need to fuck more.
Yeah, I really do think you need some counseling. You need some help. The fact, like I said, you come across very eloquent, educated, and have a TV show. You come across like some expert, but really what you are is a man that has some real perverted hang-ups, or you wouldn't get off and you wouldn't get enjoyment of spending hours at night talking about all these sexual behaviors where thousands of people can watch you.
Okay.
And you really ought to go get some counseling. I'm not saying it to be rude. It's not a prank phone call. I really have sympathy for you because I think you got some hang-ups you need to deal with.
My turn.
Okay.
What do you base all this on?
What do you mean, what do I base it on?
Well, it sounds to me like you're responding to some sort of doctrine that you carry around in your life. It sounds like you have some very deep convictions here.
I have some convictions that there are certain types of behavior and certain type of topics that ought to be considered inappropriate for public discussion.
Why should they be inappropriate? You've talked about boundaries. You've talked about
Because when anything goes, that means there's no sense of modesty left in society. There's nothing called modesty anymore. The very term modesty means, for instance, when you talk about someone that dresses modestly, it's someone that covers up appropriate parts. We don't think it's appropriate in society for someone to just walk out nude, because there's certain parts of your body that we consider that you ought to be modest about.
Well, it kind of ruins the whole thing. I still like to think of what's under the sweater.
So you're joking around, and I'm trying to be serious with you.
I'm doing a little of both, actually.
Yeah.
Hey,
the point is,
there's somebody down here who does a show. I don't know if it's been on for some time, and he's got very, very strong convictions, and he's very adamant about what he believes in. I happen to know on the side he cheats on his wife. With prostitutes. God knows what else he's carrying around in him. He's got a tremendous amount of energy, a tremendous amount of anger. One of the reasons why I do this is because I grew up with the doctrine of, if it feels good, be ashamed. And the message I'm trying to convey here is that you don't have to be ashamed. You do things that are totally normal, or totally great, and you don't need to feel ashamed. You don't need to.
Let me ask you a question. Where do you draw the lines anymore where we say, hey, wait a minute, there are certain things that are not appropriate to be discussing in a public discussion?
On this show, I don't allow people to use foul language. Some guy, if he wants to call up and use words like pussy or cunt or something, I cut him off. No, that's...
You use four-letter words all the time on your show.
Yes, but you'll never hear me refer to a woman as a vagina, or some, where you was your cock like a piston here, buddy? What's the deal? I have fun. I use a little bit of humor. The language is not for children. I do not want to ever have this show during a time when children can stay up and watch it.
Kids could be watching this right now.
Then I would have their parents taken to human resources.
Yeah, come on. In this day and age, there's a significant percentage of kids up late into the night.
Then that's their parents' fault.
I'm just saying, in society, where do you draw the line anymore? You see, it's kind of like the afternoon talk shows like Geraldo and everything. What we do is we bring out all these deviant subjects to where nothing shocks us anymore, and there's no line anymore over which we say, hey, when you go across that line, that's a little inappropriate. Anything goes. Therefore, it's kind of like a room with no walls in it. There's nothing to protect you from the storms that are blowing past you. I mean, when society has no more barriers over which we say, wait a minute, that is not appropriate to discuss in a polite company.
First, just real quickly, this word society, it's one of these words that I never use because it doesn't exist. Define society for me.
Society is when we talk about a society, we talk about a group of people that live together with some commonly shared elements of culture. For instance, I'm talking about the American culture, American society. In our society, what is left that's out of bounds? It's not considered polite topics for discussion. Nothing. With shows like yours, almost nothing is out of bounds. You say, well, you don't let them use certain terms.
I'm definitely the scourge of America. I'm probably going to bring the Armageddon.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I did.
I didn't say that. But my point is, I think the very fact that you can spend hours, a couple of times a week, talking about all these type of things, you've got some hang-ups that you need to deal with. Otherwise, you wouldn't get so much pleasure out of talking about people's private sexual behavior. I mean, sex is something that God created for people to enjoy.
What about the
in private, not for you to discuss everyone's private sexual behavior on the air with thousands of people. I think people that would discuss their own behavior with you have the same kind of hang-ups as you do. That's all I have to share. I'll let you get on to other callers.
Okay. At least I'm not sitting up here and preaching about how you have to believe in my way of religion.
Thank you.
I'm not up here telling you have to believe in this candidate because he or she is going to vote this way to make our society better. Things are just as corrupt now as they were in the 50s. Things are just as corrupt now as they were in the 1770s. The only thing that's changed is the media, the population, technology has changed. As far as bringing things to light that, shouldn't be brought to light, I've observed history. Slaughter of millions upon millions because of the way they believe, because of geographical differences, because they believed in a God without a Christ, because they believed in no Christ, because they were black. I have a man sitting next to me whose grandfather was probably great-grandfather, if not great-great-grandfather, was somebody's property. And I've seen the things that religion has done. And I have my religion. I keep that to myself. And I really do take pride in the fact that I don't sit here and boast about my I'm not here to tell you, the Lord will smite thee if thou feelest a bit of a pleasure. And I enjoyed giving the opportunity of people to be, voyeurs, to be exhibitionists. And I try to do so with the minimal of, what's the word I'm looking for? Judgment, prejudgment. And I'm very proud of the fact that I really distance myself from the insanity that some people have done in the name of religion, of superiority. If this is an evil thing, if this is a wrong thing, and I have to answer to God for it, it's not going to be nearly as bad as somebody who stands behind a pulpit or somebody who sits on TV and tries to cram their religion down somebody else's throat. So, am I deviant? God, I hope so, because I'd hate to be one of those boring straight-laced people who cheat on their wives and have their little, they won't admit it, but they have their little clandestine homosexual affairs. Yes, I'm deviant. God damn, I'm glad to be deviant. Hello. Hello. What's up? Yeah.
When you're walking off the stage, are you snorting coke?
No, I don't do drugs. Hello. Politically correct.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, where do you draw the line between being politically correct, and where do you draw the line between all of this religious fervor, as the previous caller was touting and everything, and where do normal people fall in? As far as where do we exist? We can't be very sexist these days. We can't be very politically correct. We can't be.
You want me to tell you who my favorite politically correct writers are?
Yeah.
Castro, Khomeini, Pol Pot, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin. Those are some very... Mao. We can't forget Mao. Those are the most politically correct people I've ever known.
Who's Mao?
He's some guy, some chink from China.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello. Are we not thinking?
Yes.
Mao, grandfather Mao, the father of all.
Oh, Mao Zedong. Okay. Sorry.
No Mao Zedong.
Sorry, I'll turn my television down and maybe I'll hear. Okay.
Sorry about the chink remark, but it just had to be
As you
said.
can tell from my voice, I've got family over there.
Anyway.
Okay, but how do you deal with it day to day? And I didn't really like you backing down to the guy that with the previous caller. Don't do that.
I wanted to let him speak, because give a fool a platform and a place to speak and let him expose himself for what he is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
I can't believe I said that. I've never said anything like that before.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hi, what's up? You deviant woman, you.
What's up?
Deviant. Freak.
Yeah, I know.
We're ashamed of
The
ourselves now.
little man in the boat.
Little man in the boat.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the little man in the boat.
Yeah.
How do you like your little man attended to?
Oh.
Oh, for the guy who called before, the reason.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a
that
deviant.
Was, that was bullshit. So I don't want to hear it.
Tell your story so he can climax now.
Okay. Good. I'm going to. The little man in the boat. It's right in there.
Okay. Are we done?
No.
Well, work with me here, babe.
What?
Tell me something.
Okay, it's like in between your clitoris. And then just rub up and down against it.
Okay. Okay, thanks. That's nice. Gosh, my mind is just coming I'm just thinking of all these things that have been done in the name of religion, and I pick on religion a lot because those are where the biggest atrocities have ever been done. Just genocide after genocide. And Guy, I don't know if your gripe was religiously based or not, but let's just say I've heard very similar arguments from those who call themselves religious, who would just as soon go out and kill somebody that didn't believe that they did the way they believed, and certainly wouldn't have any different, any qualms about trying to force their opinion on people who didn't believe the same way they did. So I really, I'm just shocked that, I don't know, this is we're just having fun, Guy. We really are. But for some reason you take it as more than what it is, and perhaps that indicates some inadequacies on your part. Hello? What's up? Yeah.
He just hadn't been laid enough. That's his problem.
Maybe his boyfriend's holding out.
I guess, man.
I guess.
All right, good night.
Good night. Hello. None of your business. Hello. Hey.
I like women with like big legs. Seriously.
Big legs like cottage cheese filled,
No.
bulbous, round.
No, actually, I guess muscular legs, like in a calf.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't know. I just see a woman like, whoa, I just want to like nibble on him and suck on him and everything. I mean, it's awesome. I don't know what it is. I mean,
That's great. What's your other fetish?
nice big old hip woman.
Okay.
I don't know. Just whatever.
Okay.
Huh?
That's great.
There.
Well, do you have any interest in being a target for a while?
You want to take a couple calls?
Sure.
No, I don't know about that.
Well, I'll tell you, I should have thought of this earlier. You can be the unseen.
I'm gonna cover your Ed McMahon.
You can be the Ed McMahon. I'm sorry, I should have thought of that earlier. Just pin it, like, right there.
Right here. So they can hear me now. I'm officially on the air.
That's right. By the way, for people who can't see the face, and chances are you can't, this is Paul on the side. Do you want to go by your name?
Hello, Austin.
Hello. What's on your mind? Deviant, freak, guilt. You should be guilt-ridden and you're going to burn in hell. What's on your mind?
Had these weird fantasies about you.
Really?
Yeah, it's the strangest thing.
That is. I never have fantasies about me. Gosh. Well, tell me about them. Because I'm a deviant freak who must really thrive on this kind of thing, and I need counseling.
No, I just wanted to tell you that. I won't get into it.
Oh, tease? Harlot?
Sorry.
Tramp?
Thank you.
Oh, I need some sexual healing. Hey.
Thank you.
Hello. Shaving, as in pubic shaving, that kind of dirty, foul, kinky thing. All right? Okay. He doesn't believe in shaving. That's nice. Hello.
He wants all his
Hello.
hair.
Hello. You're calling about the man who called earlier.
I'm about, yeah.
Huh?
The guy who called and was saying that your show isn't right, perhaps. He didn't say one thing about God or religion, and
No, he didn't.
no, he didn't. But so maybe that's something that you're feeling. And everybody has a right, just like you said, you have a right to freedom of speech. So does he, and you're knocking the poor guy. He's just.
I'm sorry. I'm having a little trouble hearing you. Speak up, please.
Okay. What I'm saying is, you were talking about freedom of speech. You have the right to say what you want to, but so does he, and you're slamming the guy, and he's not even, there. He was kind, he was nice, he was just sharing with you what he felt, and you have no respect for any other people by your attitude that you're projecting. You have not quit talking about it since he hung up.
He provided him an opportunity to speak. He didn't interrupt him. He let him get his point out, and then he replied to that. He provided a platform for
for him to express his opinion.
Right. And
Oh, I let him speak. Absolutely.
Well, but then you said, well, just give him a platform and let people see who he is for what he is. And then you took it back. You go, God, I would never say anything like that. So you're just, what I'm saying is you're just have been so sarcastic and everything about him. Give him a break. You know, you were saying he's inadequate. He has feelings of inadequacy. Maybe you do too. Because you seem awfully convicted from what he's saying. What the gentleman said. You are reacting with total conviction. And he didn't say anything about God. He didn't say anything about religion.
Oh, no, he didn't, and you're right. And the reason I brought that up is because, given the perspective of between the most heinous crimes that are done for the most, quote, noble of reasons, and doing what we're doing here, I really think that this should be really taken into perspective. As for anything else, I will totally disagree with his comments about abuse of free speech, or, you know, that this is inappropriate. I think for the people that I want to watch this show, this is entirely appropriate. This show has had beneficial, what's the word I'm looking for? Effects for some people, not a whole lot of people. A lot of people watch it for entertainment, but I've had people call up and say, you know, I enjoyed watching it because it actually helped me in something that I'm going through.
Yeah, but I guess my point being is you're just giving the guy a hard time, and he was just using his right to speak just as you are.
Yes.
It's just kind of, I don't know, I'm not being rude to you either, but kind of childish or immature. Just give the guy a break, man. I think it's kind of sad that people can call up and talk about, oh, I like to do this and that, but then a guy calls up and doesn't say one thing about that, just sharing his feelings. You give him a hard time. Man, some of these other people who have these fetishes and stuff, man, they're the freaks.
Hey, look, I get some freaks calling this show. I give them a hard time too.
Well, get off the guy's back, man. He's just giving you know,
Well,
what you got.
okay, but he knows. I mean, how could you not know? This is access. This is for free speech. How can you call up somebody and tell them that they are not entitled to do this because it is abusing that freedom? It is not.
He did not even use those words.
But that's what he did.
He said, all he said was what his question was, is where is the line drawn?
And he was criticizing me for the content of my show.
He was saying that he felt it was inappropriate.
And I'm telling him I feel that he should change the channel.
Well, and that is your right too. So my point is no matter what you're saying and no matter what he's saying, you both have a right to say it. So I think that you should get off his back, slamming him. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm not calling him up at 3 in the morning to tell him I don't like what he's doing.
I know, but you're doing it after he called. You've been talking about it for 10 minutes.
But this show's part entertainment. You gotta remember that.
That's not entertainment. Get real.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll just take a casual poll from here on out and just kind of get some feedback, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Hello. Was the guy in line or out of line?
Show so you could, you know, I think you were within your bounds big time. The thing I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind, was I would take issue with one thing you say is that the greatest crimes in the history of humanity as far as genocides and this have been committed in the name of religion. I don't think that Hitler, he may have persecuted a religious group, but he didn't do it in the name of religion. Stalin certainly did in the purges, and Mao didn't do it in China. Those were political crimes, and they were, I think, way beyond anything that we've ever seen in the name of religion. That's the only thing. And I'm not a religious freak or anything. I just, gosh, we don't even know how many people Stalin killed, and that was in the name of his political survival.
I believe communism's a religion. I really do.
Well, okay, I think that's kind of a nifty twist on a deal. It certainly wasn't designed. It was a stateless. The state was without religion. They shut down the Russian Orthodox churches and a lot of churches. And all I'm saying is I think that's a fairly loose interpretation of religion.
Not religion in the traditional sense, but religion in the fact that in order to be a true communist, you had to be devout to it.
Well,
you had to have this absolute blind faith in it.
Oh gosh, you could say that about Amway. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, you know.
Well, in a way, you're actually kind of right. I think of other things where more people have been killed than the Holocaust, where how many millions upon millions, tens of millions of Indians were killed, if not by disease, then by flat-out
Members
murder.
of other religions, yeah.
How, you know, the Muslims who were invaded by the Christians, you know, century after century after century. You can go into the Pacific and start looking at the natives in the Pacific Rim.
Oh yeah, I just think that, I mean, some of the things that, and if you want to call communism a religion, that's fine. I think it was specifically anti-religious. They substituted one deity, which was the state, for another, which was some kind of theocracy. But I just think that the total numbers of people that were done in by the Stalins and the Hitlers in the name of their own political power, and I'm not saying that popes didn't do it, and Ayatollahs didn't do it, and presidents of the United States have done it in the name of their own political power. But there are some people who seek comfort and try to find some reasonable comfort in religion and some kind of system of values, and I don't think that's inherently wrong.
Oh, absolutely not.
And so those people, they feel terrible when they hear that, you know, and they haven't had anything to do with it. It's just kind of, but that's a heavy subject and whatever.
Bosnians.
I think what you're doing is fine, and talking about whatever you want is fine. And if some guy calls in and opens himself up to an open discussion, he wasn't listening to you. He was just carrying on and on and on and on and on, which I don't want to do, so I'll say good night.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Good night. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Let me, before I leave you, and I say this over and over, I draw a very, very distinct separation between religion and faith. And in a nutshell, I will say that I believe religion is the cancer of faith.
That's a whole term's worth of discussions, but I think I get your drift.
Just think about it for a while, and maybe you'll understand my approach a little differently.
Mighty fine. See ya.
Take care. Damn, this cold is starting to get to me.
Oh man, I'm shivering over here.
Hello. Hello. Hi.
Just returned from New York.
Did you hear the caller, just real quick? Did you hear the guy who lambasted me? Hello? Hey, you there? Okay, we'll speak.
Yeah, I just returned from New York, and I wanted to say to Austin that I think that you are the Howard Stern answer to Austin, Texas. You're great. You do a good job.
I am not like Howard Stern, please.
Well, it's got the same implications. You have a very unique audience, and you've got a very unique show.
Well, if that's all the similarities you're going to draw, I will say thank you.
Well, I'll go on beyond that.
Please don't. I don't particularly care for Howard Stern.
Why not?
Well, there's just kind of this rough quality about him, and his sense of humor is not very sophisticated. I'll tell you one thing that I was really put off by. He had a penthouse pet on there.
Yeah.
And she was going on, and he was kind of advocating it, and what's the word I'm looking for? Instigating it. She was going on about, oh, those Orientals, you know, it's like they can't see where they're driving because their eyes are only half open all the time. And he's like, yeah, like they're blind, you know, they're stupid.
Into it. I didn't see that. He fed into it.
Yeah. And I just don't see that there's any place for that in America. And, you know, hey, but getting back to that guy's argument, I'll take a different approach. He has the right to say it. I have the right to think he's a jackass.
Okay. I dig that. But nonetheless, you are a unique character in the Austin market.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm much different in person, by the way.
Well, I'm not unhappy to hear you say that.
I'd never get a girlfriend if I were the same person.
You have a name. You have a Chiron named Shelley under your face.
That's right. I'm wearing his underwear at this moment.
Who is Shelley?
Shelley's. Yep. Definitely his underwear.
Shelley is a he.
Shelley is a man's name and has been for centuries.
I see.
It's anglicized from the Norman name Michel, which is the French name of Michael.
Okay. Lastly, I'll comment that the previous caller who was going on about religion, I'll change the channel. To that person, I say change the channel and let you speak.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.
Thanks for the call.
You want to throw some stuff in?
No, the Howard Stern thing, guys. He talked about his wife's miscarriage on the air. just, I mean, he blatantly talked about it. I think he made jokes about it or something, and she was, I guess he said he went home and it was kind of a tough night, I guess. But when you do that kind of stuff, man, I mean, that's like, you know, I mean, I know he's abrasive, but that's just going a step too far when you do something like that. I mean, that's your wife, and you don't want to bring that out in the public. But I mean, if that's his character and she stays with him, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, I do have to agree with you. Sometimes he is a little abrasive, but yeah, but that guy, you got a guy a platform. Don't feel bad. Don't even.
I wasn't.
I didn't mean to say don't feel bad. But.
Hello. Yeah.
There's not a man in more dire need of a blowjob than that man.
Oh, God!
Genius!
Boy, I fucked that up. Are you there?
Yeah.
I hosed. I accidentally put the wrong person on. Anyway, as you were saying.
Mainly, it's more like, I guess, education and what we learn from other people and from, like, you know, just being older. Like, for instance, I was doing studies of the history. You see that, like, Caesar, they called him the men of all men and the woman of all of men, meaning that Caesar was homosexual. It shows you how, like, in the past, people and situations, especially with females, the way they were treated, they were, you know, chastity belts, that type of thing, sewing up of the vagina, so that when they're married, then the husband will be able to.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes. That still occurs in some places.
Huh?
That still occurs. There's also in some
Yeah.
places what are called clitorectomies.
Right. Mainly, I guess, it's like from when I was a sophomore in high school, I was going to save myself, you know, until I got married. Okay, haha. Well, a drunken night, you know, that kind of ended that, and a lot of peer pressure from friends, but I'm glad I did it. The point is that if I save myself until I got married, how's my wife going to know how I am in bed, right?
Right.
Okay, well, it's also got me a little more open to try different things, and you know, I think a relationship has a lot to do with sex, and things like your show, you know, the guy was, you know, contradicting your show, fine, you know, that's his opinion, fine, but for me, I mean, I'm sitting up studying at, 3:30 in the morning, which is crazy, but I flip you on all the time, mainly just to see what other people's views are, especially in Austin. And Austin is a big place where people don't, you know, they all have their own opinions about things, but it's fun to see exactly what, you know, people are thinking, people are doing out there, because they're doing a lot.
Oh,
Doing
yeah.
more than I am. Amazing. Well,
More than I do. That's for sure.
and if they're really doing it, great, you know, gives me some ideas. But mainly just, I mean, it's just, there's kind of like, I don't know if you noticed, but like if you look back in the past decades, as decades pass, there's real conservative people, and then there's real open people. Say like I guess it was the 80s were real open, 70s were real conservative, 60s of course, you know, sex, love.
Anything that moved.
Exactly. And you can keep going back to that, to 20s. And
It's
then
all been the
after
same.
the 20s, we had the Depression, so it was very conservative. 90s is supposed to be conservative, which it is because of AIDS. Year 2000, well, I guess we'll see what happens there. But mainly, people's views, just like the gentleman who called, which I respect his views totally, and I respect him for calling and stating his views. We all have a right to state our views, and if kids are up at 3:30 in the morning, you know, please do go to bed because school is tomorrow.
As far as that subject goes, I am not a babysitter, and if some parent is not capable of putting their child to bed and keeping them in bed, then that person probably is not fit to be a parent.
Agree with that. Definitely agree with that. They have access to the TV.
And you have access to channel block.
Huh?
And you have access to channel block.
Exactly.
Correct.
I'll tell you what, I have 9 minutes left. I'd like to go ahead and move on.
Well, you also go by Cichlid, am I correct?
I do.
Well, Cichlid, I've seen you around on a couple of the boards.
All right.
And you have a good night.
Take care.
Bye.
For those of you who want to write me, I'm Cichlid at bga.com. Lowercase Cichlid, CICHLID, @bga.com. That's COM, not KOM, COM. Hello. What's up?
Say something about pros on what you said to that guy real fast. I mean, you had absolutely, the thing he said about the platform, that's perfectly it. He let him say what he wants to say. He has absolutely no, his mind will never go as deep to know what this stuff's about. He'll never,
Actually, I think it will, but I don't think he'll ever admit it without feeling like he's going to go to hell.
I disagree. I think people with one-track minds are people with one-track mind, that's all, Maybe in another lifetime they'll be a deeper person, but for right now, he'll never understand. He lives his life like he wants to live his life. And to the girl that said something about religion, he was the one who brought up culture. And, I mean, religion's based on culture. Culture's based on religion. So you had every right to bring up religion about that.
Well, I can see her point of view, because he didn't mention religion at any point, but I just felt that his convictions were probably based on that. And I had my personal reasons for also bringing that up.
And I think she said get off his back, but obviously he wanted you on his back. He called. That's all there is to it. He said he was flipping through the channels. Well, keep on flipping. That's all, that's what, I don't know. I just think it's silly for people to actually, I don't know.
So, tell me, do you have a question for Paul?
For Paul.
The voice.
The voice. No, I don't know any questions. It's late. I'm studying.
That's not a question. I'm studying is not a question.
Do you have any experiences you'd like to share with us?
Nah. I called earlier, so I just decided to call again.
Okay.
All right.
Well, sweet dreams.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello. What's up? Hello? 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 I'm doing.
Ex-girlfriend. And she had this thing that when she would come to a climax, she would say, "Come with me, come with me." And I was at my mother's house with her one night, and we were in the back bedroom making love about 3 o'clock in the morning. And she starts screaming, "Come with me, come."
I don't believe you. Hello? What's up? Make it short and sweet.
Well, I think, Robin Williams, Good Morning Vietnam. There is not a man in existence who's in more dire need of a blowjob than that guy who called up.
Thank you.
And I grew up, religious and all of that, and sadly, I believed in hellfire and brimstone, and as a child, I was deeply, actually very much screwed me up, religion. And I understand totally what you're saying about all the evils that were committed in the name of religion. I've studied history and all that too. And it's really sad that these people are out here and they call you up and they say that, that this is bad what you're doing, because I love this show. I mean, I've called before and told you I love this show. I think it's great what you're doing, because people, this stuff goes on, this is part of life, and it provides an opportunity to talk about it and share something when society is sort of, these are all taboo,
Yes.
Provides a real outlet for it. And that guy, God's going to tell him, whenever he gets to heaven, lighten up, man.
Lighten up.
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, here you spent all this time having a shitty time, thinking that the Bible said for you to suppress all these things, and that's not what I meant, And, that's really how I feel. And I'm a very spiritual person. And it's too bad that there's people like this in Austin or wherever.
Hey, but it is America. And you're not going to get away from those kind of people anywhere.
Well,
right? Closed-mindedness. Some people really thrive in the security that being a closed-minded individual creates. And whenever you're a closed-minded individual, it makes you feel like you're standing up a little bit higher than the rest.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm guilty in some ways too. I mean, nobody's perfect, but it really, this show is great, and I can't see anybody, say anything against it. As far as the kids thing go, yeah, you know, they shouldn't be up, they shouldn't be seeing it, and whatever, man, I give you my support.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
One of the side reasons why I do this is because I'm preference neutral, and that is if you like to have sex by yourself or with a man or a woman or both or whatever, I do my best to not care. And in doing that, I allow people to share in the experience that, you know, sex is sex. The partners may be different, but the reasons you have sex, the things you get out of having sex, are still the same. So I kind of like to make our differences actually show that there's some similarities and the things that all of us do. Hi.
Hello?
What's up?
Hey, I was wondering if maybe you could give me on some advice on suggesting a threesome to my girlfriend.
Well, tell her you know this really strapping, beefy, hung dude.
No, 2 girls and me.
Well, I'll tell you what, in all seriousness, if, you know, talk to her about it and be fair and tell her that, you know, baby, if you'd be interested in doing this, I'll be man enough and I'll be secure enough in my sexuality that if you want to have a threesome with 2 guys, I'll be there.
Okay.
Are you man enough?
Probably.
Okay.
Hey, when does your show come on? This is the first time I've ever seen it.
I do Catharsis at midnight, and Catharsis lasts until about 1:30 or so, and then I do Sex and Ice.
Is this like every night?
Tuesday nights.
Every Tuesday night?
Right.
Okay, cool, man.
Bye.
Peace.
Yeah, he's going to go to her. Honey, I'll swing with another guy. Yeah, right.
Did you say 2 girls and 1 guy?
He said he wants to, but I suggested that he be man enough and open enough to go both ways. Hello? What's up? Hello?
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment on what that guy said earlier when he called.
Okay, you're going to be our last caller. You've got 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Oh, wow. I'm here. Well, I think I just didn't understand this modesty crap. I mean, I haven't been modest all my life. I mean, I think that we should be open, and I mean, I don't think that we should have boundaries and barriers, because if we have all that, then where's the freedom? Do you understand what I mean? And also, I got a proposal, but I mean, it's about sex and stuff, and I mean, I thought that.
Could you speak up,
hear
please?
me?
Barely.
Oh, I'm sorry. I also had a proposal about this weekend that I wanted to talk about. It's about sex, but I thought, I mean, unless you're doing the show on something different now. Can you hear me?
Barely. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
You have 30 seconds.
do you know what a nightcap is?
A what?
A nightcap.
No.
Well, it's where you meet somebody for the first time, but you meet them in a dark room and you have sex with them and then you don't see them.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Well, if you use protection, and I mean, I had that proposal, and I've been talking to the guy for a while. He lives
Hold
out
on.
of town.
Can you call back next week?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, thanks. Everybody, good night. Even for...
Bye, Austin.
Sweet dreams.